1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Snap spot, kick by Gonzalez. It is good. Fly home safely. Atlanta wins. This is the end of the game. 29-28.
Thank you to Falcons Radio for that one. Wow, what a dumb game that was. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. If you are a Bucs fan, you've got to be absolutely sick to your stomach. And this was a 2-score lead, Pearl, in the fourth quarter. You're at home. You got all your people back. For the most part, you got Mike Evans running all around the field. Everything seems to be going your way. And then just one mistake after another, while Atlanta is still making mistakes. The final score is Atlanta 29, Tampa Bay 28, and now the Bucs playoff chances are hanging in the balance because they don't control their own destiny anymore.
Well, they have 2 games against the Panthers, so I think actually
the Panthers have a half-game lead now, so even if they split, it's possible that Carolina gets a spot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But they can at least beat Carolina twice.
I don't know if they're going to beat Carolina.
I don't know if
twice.
they're going to beat anybody. They couldn't win that game last night, but you know what this is setting up. You famously call this the year of the drought buster.
Yeah.
It is the weekend of the old quarterback because Kirk Cousins balled out a little bit last night. He looked good.
I guess.
No, I guess he was awesome.
His yardage is always huge, and so Kirk Cousins always has these big numbers, and I'll give him credit. At the end of the game, he's staring at a 4th and 14.
Oh, yeah.
But I have major questions about things that happened on that final drive. I mean, first of all, so many silly things. He gets sacked, the fumble by Kirk Cousins, it get called simultaneous possession. Tie goes to the offensive player. Kirk Cousins gets bailed out there. And then a holding penalty that happened on offensive lineman Jake Matthews, where they decide to accept the penalty. So instead of becoming a 3rd and 18, it's a 2nd and 28.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been a bad mistake from Todd Bowles there. Like, why do you want to play extra downs right now?
Yeah.
But
no,
we can talk about
absolutely.
that
I mean,
time.
listen, what are the win percentage when you're at 3rd and 28 though?
No, I
mean, that what's happened I was bet on the Broncos. It was 3rd and 30 in the late of the game against Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes found a way to get the first down. You don't expect Kirk Cousins to throw 2 dimes, and I think there are a couple stories of the game that you're not mentioning. The uniforms, amazing.
Oh, sure, the creamsicles.
And Kyle Pitts turning into a combination of Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, John Mackey, every great tight end of all time. That's the Kyle Pitts we were promised. The man was unguardable. And by the way, you're like, I know Kirk Cousins throws for a lot of yards. That's the goal of a quarterback, is to throw over a lot of yards.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No, I understand, but it felt painful. I understand.
It's a Kirk Cousins experience.
Well, 11 catches, 166 yards for Kyle Pitts, 3 touchdowns. It's obviously a career high. And it's just, how do you win a game if you're Atlanta where you commit 19 penalties? Like, that should be, we need a whole new category for that. And I can't help but look at this from the Bucs side, because obviously Atlanta was eliminated from the playoffs last week. And we can talk about Atlanta and what their future is, and Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins, like, these offensive weapons. Is Raheem Morris actually the guy to continue with this team? Fine. You want to talk Atlanta? Let's go. But to me, it's Tampa. Oh, gosh. I mean, you have a team on the other side. You're playing a team that is imploding with the penalties. Let them die. Let them die. Like, instead, you're giving them second life when Baker Mayfield throws an interception with about 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The other part is Atlanta keeps going for two because now this is like the fancy thing that coaches do now. If you're down 14, you go for two immediately, and they didn't get it. So now they're chasing. They get the ball back. They score a touchdown. They go for two again, not even close. For Atlanta, these 2-point conversion tries are just comical.
They're terrible this year. Remember the Browns last week?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, everyone, stay after practice and work on a couple of these. But anyway, so the 2-point conversions keep failing, but yet Tampa could not shut the door. They couldn't get a first down to end the game. They couldn't get a fumble. That was, there was a fumble where there's $9 and maybe 1.5 Falcons, and somehow Atlanta gets the ball. You couldn't invent this loss. What did you start the show by saying? It was a dumb game? Stupid game.
Yeah. That being said, quite entertaining for what should have been just a non-watchable game. First half wasn't great, but there were a lot of good throws. There were a lot of interesting plays. It's good to see Mike Evans back. And you remember, oh, God, he's awesome.
Yeah. He's holding on to his back while he's on the sideline. Then comes out and is Superman. It's like, okay.
I have this weird issue with the Amazon game. Should they pump in a little more crowd noise? That was also...
That's your issue with the Amazon game? Can I give you a few others? Hey, can anyone explain what the hell's going on in this game?
No, that I don't care about.
They're all over the map. End-of-game situations right now with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit is just not ideal. Not ideal.
Oh, they're all right. They're all right.
Al Michaels is the soundtrack of my life. Don't get it twisted. I'm a huge Al Michaels.
You want Gus Johnson?
Yeah, yeah, I do. But it's not even about the excitement. Although Al is lacking a little of that at the end of the games. But here's the thing: it's you needed a little bit more setup. I think for what was going on that final drive.
There's no precedent. There's no set up what? That was an absolute miracle that made no sense. As you said, how do you set up such a dumb game?
Well, but here's the thing. Al Michaels did mention about the accepted penalty on the 2nd and 28 versus the 3rd and 18. He did mention it, but can we talk a little bit? You got a whole other broadcast that's only there to talk about analytics and end-of-game situations. Yeah. And the guy's over there, and I like that guy, Sam Schwartzstein, I think is his name. I'd never heard of him before they started doing this Amazon thing. I like that guy, but he's there in the final drive calling the team the Commanders. Everyone was off their rocker last night. I don't know why it was so difficult to set up that end of the game. And Al's final call was just not, there was nothing on it.
So it's Falcons and Bucks in week 15. There shouldn't be anything. We shouldn't even be talking about this today. I think they delivered a heck of a game in a somewhat meaningless situation. Because I'm sorry, I know.
Not meaningless for the Bucks.
It is a little meaningless. And if in the sense that they can win, they have to beat the Panthers. You're right. If they win this game, then they can afford a split with the Panthers. But it's right in front of them, and they are talented enough to win last night's.
His little window.
They're talented enough to win last night's game, and they're talented enough to beat Carolina twice. This is on them, and this is on Todd Bowles, and this is on Baker Mayfield because you're right. Enough people are back that they should be winning these games. Tristan Wirfs, their tackle, is back. This should be on. I'm not giving up on the Bucs. I never thought they were good in the first place. Even when everyone was talking Baker Mayfield MVP, I'm like, this is the NFC South. It's going to be 9-8 is going to win the division. It always works out that way. So I'm not giving up on them. There is a defeatist attitude, especially the coach. I mean, geez, you're a head coach. Let's not act like a fan after the game.
Oh yeah. So let's hear from Todd Bowles. So obviously, he's ticked off. He should be ticked off. How did you lose this one? Todd Bowles sort of melting down postgame.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You got to care enough where the hurts. You got to care enough where the hurts. It got to mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
Okay. More from Bowles. We want more. I mean, if you can decipher between the
I want more
bleeps.
of that.
It's kind of the same thing, right?
Giving up the 4th and 14 to Kirk Cousins when the Bucs had the Falcons in 3rd and 28. It's true. 3rd and 28 and then a 4th and 14. And obviously he was not happy with that.
3rd and 28, you got to be able to play it. It's 3rd and 28. It doesn't matter whether you rush 4-man, 5-man, or 6-man. You know where the ball's going. You got to get off the field. It was inexcusable the way we played the 4th and 14.
Yeah.
I mean, spot the
That's
lie.
fair, yeah.
But, to be honest, like, I think everyone probably has to wear this. Do you think that it's just on the players here and the coaches have absolutely no hand in what happened?
I was curious. Is he talking about not getting on the fumbles? What exactly is he talking?
He said you got to care. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
I think
there
he's
was
talking
enough
about
want to, is his sense.
or it's got to hurt you. Maybe he was looking at faces in the
Yeah.
locker room that didn't seem as devastated. I don't know how you could not be if you're in this game and you're leading by 2 scores in the 4th quarter.
I mean, the veterans were devastated. Mike Evans walked off early. Mayfield looked like absolutely sheep white after the game. He was messed up. By the way, the 4th and 14 was caught by David Sills, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? I was like, David
Yes.
Sills is in the NFL. So he was the kid who committed to USC at quarterback in 8th grade and ended up being a wide receiver in college. Like, this goes way back. He's a nobody in the NFL. He has not been on rosters. I looked it up. He hasn't even been on a roster in years before this.
Was he on the Texans?
No, he was a Giants. He was on the Giants in 2022 and 2020, and he ends up somehow on Atlanta in 2025 because he had a series of wide receiver injuries.
Yeah, of course.
And Drake London was out last night. So
And he had a terrible drop in the game, too.
Yeah, and he had a terrible drop in the end zone. And then Kyle Pitts plays basically wide receiver and dominates the game. I was thinking the Bucs should just rotate and cover Kyle Pitts because David Sills isn't going to catch the ball. And then, boom, he gets the 4th and 14. And it was one of the most unlikely wins we've seen in a long, long time.
No, at one point, I mean, for whatever win probability, whatever, that stat I think is almost invented just for the crash out. Like, they love to say, oh, it was 100% win probability until dun dun dun. But it was like 97% for the Bucs last night.
I thought it was higher even. I'm amazed.
Yeah, maybe there was like a 0.2 in there. All right, here's Baker Mayfield taking blame for that 4th quarter collapse.
Disappointing, obviously, but falls on my shoulders. Can't turn the ball over. Can't have that interception. And then just gotta hit Mech in stride on that 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean the ball was a little behind him. It was so Baker Mayfield taking some accountability there. I guess the question about this is, first of all, you say that Carolina, like the Bucs, just beat Carolina twice. So Carolina's won 6 of their last 9, and right now the Bucs are basically hoping that the Saints are going to come in, gonna pull off a win against Carolina and help them out. I don't think you can count on the Saints for much right now. I mean, I know they beat the Bucs last week, but I don't know if you can pencil that one in.
And yet we don't really know how good the Panthers are either. I mean, they lay down against your Bills. They're very inconsistent.
That felt like a long time ago.
Was it really that?
Yeah.
It probably wasn't that long ago. Probably a month ago.
I feel like I've lived 4 lifetimes.
Yeah,
October 26th.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It's Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. But I do think the Panthers are a little bit of an unknown. Would you be shocked if Tampa Bay beat Carolina twice? Tampa
After
Bay
the
has
way
a way.
they played last night, kinda.
Well, they have a way of surviving in this division. They always figure out a way to win it. So, I mean, Carolina, again, I understand there's some hype. I mean, Carolina lost 20-9 to San Francisco on Monday night 2 weeks ago. That was bad. And
then rebounded to beat the Rams. So you're right. We don't exactly
they're
know
up
who
and
they
down.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, let's go to my favorite, the Athletic Playoff Predictor, playoff simulator, if you will. Right now, Tampa Bay Bucks have a 53% chance to make the playoffs. If they lose,
66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
You guys love making fun of me about this. I'm trying to give information to the audience. 53% chance to make the playoffs right now.
Kornacki nerd.
If they lose to the Panthers, it goes down to 25%. And so
Take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning.
Yeah,
by the way, the final 3 games, they got the Panthers twice, and then they have the Dolphins in Miami nestled in there. And the Dolphins are not laying down because they're still technically alive in this thing.
You know who's really at fault for this loss? So David Sills, if nobody knows the story, started working out with a quarterback coach at age 5 and was recruited and committed to USC in 8th grade. Guess who made the offer?
Lane Kiffin.
Of course.
All roads lead back to Lane.
He never ended up playing quarterback at USC, but Lane kind of screwed over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as usual, by developing this guy.
Monty helped them, but Lane screwed him.
Generally, this is one of the weirdest games we've ever seen. And I don't think anyone will remember it because I don't think it's going to be impactful on the big picture. Even if Tampa Bay does make the playoffs, they sure don't look like a dangerous contender at all.
No, I don't think so. And I think, the way that the NFC is kind of shaping up, the odds are like whoever wins this division could end up hosting a home game against Seattle or something like that, who looks a lot more dangerous. So, like right now, if the playoffs started today, it'd be Seattle going to Carolina
that's not good.
in the 4-5 matchup. Right, exactly. So you're either going to have Seattle, if it was today, it's going to be some combination of Seattle, San Francisco, maybe Chicago, maybe Detroit, coming to play the winner of the NFC South. And I don't know who you're actually picking the NFC South winner over that crew.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Green Bay, too, if it falls out.
If there's a flip-flop there with the Bears,
That ain't good. No, I mean, listen, how many years in a row has Tampa Bay won this division, and how little have they done since the Super Bowl year in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, they beat your Eagles. This would be 4 years in a row winning the division if they can pull it off this year. Beat your Eagles, went to Detroit, gave them all they could handle. Yeah,
but they're tough. They gave the Rams a hard game. I remember that. But, again, this division stinks.
Yeah, it does.
But Kirk Cousins, I think he looked good last night. Again, the cult of Kirk Cousins. Remember, Diana Rossini told us their coaches that like him. He just throws. You're right. All he does is get tons of yards and a bunch of touchdowns, and we don't really know how. But at the end of the day, that stat line is gorgeous. If Phillip Rivers did half of that, we would give him the MVP of the weekend.
Oh, that's true. I mean, if Indianapolis had Kirk Cousins right now, they'd be thanking their lucky stars. And Kirk is probably going to play next year. They said that. Most likely not in Tampa. I think they can get out of his contract after this
Not
year.
in Atlanta.
I don't think so. I think after this season, they can get out of it. And obviously, Kirk's going to leave because I think there's no love lost here.
I mean, did he really make some money last night, though? I mean, he's been terrible before this game.
Well, Minnesota makes so much sense for him.
Oh, I think he's cooked.
Cooked in what sense? He's never had it to not be cooked.
No. There was a time where Kirk Cousins was, I think, a very good NFL quarterback. The guy I've seen before last night looked like he should be in retirement home. I mean, that's why I think Todd Bowles is crashing out. I was like, how do we lose to this guy?
But don't you think he's again? This gets back to Phillip Rivers. He never had any athleticism to lose. I feel like he's good. Why would he not be the same quarterback at 37 as he is at 31? He's just, I don't even know how Kirk does it.
I'm just watching him play this season. He's been very unimpressive.
Yeah. Last night was good though.
Last night was good, no question. He looked great, but again, I think that's why you see so much anger from Todd Bowles because he's like, this guy couldn't do anything against the Dolphins, couldn't do anything against all these other teams, and then he shows up in Tampa Bay and lights it up. Like, how did you let this happen?
I mean, they lost to the Jets. Like, not to.
Yeah.
Sorry, EJ,
you're 100%
but like,
right. A Jets defense coordinator is about to get fired, and the Jets defense locked them up.
Well, Maggie, you had a great question. Is this on Todd Bowles' defense for letting Kirk Cousins throw 3 touchdowns and 337 yards?
I mean, Kirk was in that fourth quarter. The fact that he got that fumble recovery and it was the simultaneous possession. It was like, all right, you got a break there, but then like you're a Tampa defense that's got all these names that we know very well. Lots of guys left over from the Super Bowl team, et cetera, and they've been really good. I was actually thinking about this. Did this just cross your mind at all? It's still unforgivable to give your first-round pick to the Rams if you're Atlanta. Still unforgivable. But James Pierce is really good.
And also we haven't heard of, his issues were obviously off the field, and we haven't heard a peep about him.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Is he really?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize he had a sack in 6 straight games before going into last night because Atlanta just can't get their acts together generally. But this dude,
Carson Schwarzenegger in Cleveland is probably, I think he's the
Vegas favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's really good too. I mean, you get to play with Myles Garrett, but still, I'll give you that. I mean,
it should be neck and neck. Those guys have both had great seasons.
But here's the thing. It's like, it is unforgivable because you may have just handed the Rams their reset. Like, if they draft a quarterback this year, I think it might be Arch Manning still. And then he sits behind Stafford, and now you just gave another NFC team like a quarterback for a decade. Then shame on you. But James Pierce is really good.
I mean, there also is the reality that what are the odds they're going to draft a player better than James Pierce with the 8th or 10th pick? It might be kind of hard. Like, that's not a guaranteed star.
Well, listen, also, too, the NFL knows there's a reason James Pierce fell to that spot. Nobody had ever doubted his talent. So you're asking yourself, yeah, it looks great now. This is the draft. We always say this in 3 years will James Pierce, because there are so many reports of behavior stuff at Tennessee and anyway, well, let's not count that as a win for the Falcons. You're right, though. It looks a lot better. Also, he just looks like if you look at his body type, that's the defensive end. He looks a lot like Brian Burns, just tall, fast, lanky. But then again, if you're Atlanta, what are you doing here as a franchise? You have Bijan Robinson is amazing.
Yeah,
and
bad
you have
fumble
Kyle
last night
Pitts
for
as a
him.
stud. And there's so many good things going on here, but it never comes together.
19 penalties last night. Falcons, 19 penalties. They win the game on a walk-off field goal by Zane Gonzalez. All right, was that the dumbest game we've watched all season? 888-710-4ISN. I think there was a dumber one.
There have been a few, now that you say that.
The first Sunday Night Football games, Bills and Ravens was crazy.
Oh, that was a Picasso. That was a masterpiece.
Sure.
I mean, I honestly just float around the NFC South schedule. I'm sure we can find some more.
888-710-4ISN. Okay, lots to do, including we do have updates for you on what's going on with Sharon Moore in Michigan. A lot more details now coming out about what happened in that apartment the other day. So we'll get that for you. He's expected to be arraigned in court today. So we've got a lot of details on that. It is the Maggie and Perloff Show. Give us a call, 888-710-4ISN. Perloff. Prize Picks. The obsession of the show.
How'd you do last night?
No comment. But that doesn't mean...
Yeah, because you probably didn't pick my guy Kirk Cousins more then, right?
No, instead I was rolling with Baker Mayfield rushing yards. Listen,
Oh,
you
you
live
know
and
what?
you learn in this world, okay?
I was watching on the Prime telecast. They were spying him like crazy, and I actually thought they should spy Josh Allen like they're spying Baker Mayfield. Every third down, Baker Mayfield's instinct is to run because he knew that you picked him in Prize Picks.
Yeah, it's all about me. But you know what? I learned from my I don't even call it a mistake. I was right in my thought process, but back on the horse tonight. Give me Cade Cunningham. More than 26.5 points for Detroit. You know who they're playing tonight. Back to Atlanta. They're playing the Hawks. So there you go, 26.5 points. And then I'm going to put that with your pal, Pearl, Connor Bedard. More than just a half an assist. He needs 1 assist, and I'm a winner. Give me Bedard.
Oh, gosh, you're jumping on my Bedard. Yeah, this is awesome. It's so simple to use. You pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and you're a winner. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play just $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Yeah, I was just thinking about something, Maggie. We do a lot of coaching carousel stuff, and nobody's talked about the Bucs as a potential opening. But watching Todd Bowles lose his mind in the post-game press conference, the thought did dawn on me, where is this franchise going? They seem to be stuck in the same spot where they can compete to win the division, but that's about it. And last night, I understand the lack of effort. I was thinking one Kyle Pitts touchdown where a DB pulled up and was afraid to get in there and hit him. And I think that would drive. I think Todd Bowles was originally a DB coach, played safety in the NFL. Of
course.
I think his defense is not reflecting who he is as a coach right now. So I wonder, what are the Bucs doing here? I don't even know if Todd Bowles has never looked happy. You've covered Todd Bowles. Is there a smiling Todd Bowles? I don't even know what it is, but he really looked miserable last night.
Well, actually, it's great that we have Chris Lopresti in with us this morning because Chris was day-to-day in the Todd Bowles era with the Jets. Chris, good morning. And
good morning.
I guess here's the thing that I've always understood about Todd Bowles, and I didn't cover him as closely as CeeLo did, but the Todd Bowles that you get out in front of the media was not close to what you were getting behind the scenes. He's one of those guys.
Got it.
But last night, maybe that was a little closer to what you actually get from Todd Bowles because he's F word this, F word that.
That was exactly my reaction. I said that to EJ in the newsroom. I was like, this is the version of Todd Bowles that his players always talk about.
Right.
The behind the scenes guy who's got he's got the curses and the profanities, but always very buttoned up and stoic at the podium in front of the media. Oftentimes you would say boring.
Yeah.
To the point where he just kind of rambles on a little bit and doesn't get too high or too low. Not a lot of emotion. You get a smile here and there, but pretty serious, stone cold approach.
Well, also he was following Rex Ryan, who was treating press conferences like he was doing stand-up at the Comedy Cellar.
Yes. I mean, comparing those two, it's like oil and water.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think even in the context of the rest of the league and the NFL head coach that you're I think, and you compare him to the rest of the league, he still falls on more of the dry, boring, not offering much.
Yeah.
Part of the equation.
I mean, last night, in some ways, I kind of feel for Todd Bowles because you are up 14.
Yeah.
The Falcons can't get out of their own way. And then all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield has a turnover and you're in business. I mean, any defense in the NFL should not allow a 4th and 14. And by the way, you're playing Kirk Cousins, and I get he's Kirk O'Chains, all that stuff. It's not Mahomes back there. It's not Josh Allen back there who always find a way. This is Kirk Cousins. Sack him.
And
Anyway.
Kyle Pitts, who everyone's been waiting for that kind of game since he's been drafted. And all of a sudden he decided last night to be that guy.
Let's get to Paul in Texas. Paul, you think that the bad coaching is to blame for the Bucs losing last night?
Absolutely. I mean, you have a 14-point lead. How on earth do you lose that? Even with the interception, I mean, it was horrible. And then in the press conference at the end of it, it was just foul mouth, foul mouth, foul mouth. It was, it was horrible, and it was even worse to listen to him blame the team when he should be blaming himself and his coaching staff.
Yeah, Paul, we're not used to it, where a coach just goes out there, thank you for the phone call, and is just like, that's on y'all. It is a choice. It is. But to be fair, like, I would like to be fair to Todd Bowles. I'd probably be frustrated if he was the head coach of my team, but they have been winning the division, Pearl. They have been, putting a scare into some teams in the playoffs, did beat your Eagles one year, and he's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, right? You're mild-mannered, you're soft-spoken. People don't think that you care. You come out, you curse in the press conference, people think that you've lost your mind.
I think, actually, if he doesn't get to the playoffs, they might have to sweep Carolina. I think it's done. I mean,
He's out?
He's 62 now, by the way. He didn't look like he wanted to be there last night. I saw the ProFootballTalk.com headline, Todd Bowles quickly slides into the hot seat. That was an embarrassing loss, and this part of the season has been a bit embarrassing. There's no injuries to hide behind anymore. Feels like it's coming to its natural conclusion here.
Well, losing to the Saints is like the real unforgivable thing, but they can rebound if they beat Carolina twice. But
that was at home last night, and you're wearing the creamsicles. That's unforgivable too, and yet you nailed it. They had this ridiculous lead, like. That was kind of lost that cost coaches their jobs. The other thing, too, is what's the future here with Todd Bowles? And I think a lot of Bucs fans have been thinking that for a while. Like, what are we really doing here? Are we going to get a more offensive-oriented coach? And there's just a lot going on here with Todd Bowles.
And they let two offensive guys out the door that were essentially, guys that could have been their head coach, you would think, right? Liam Cohen and Dave Canales, who's now right on their block for the NFC South.
I'm sure they want Dave Canales back. Right.
They've lost 5 of their last 6. All right, let's get CeeLo, who's got the latest.
They have Josh Grizzard now, who is the hot OC coming. He's the guy that everyone wants. Do they just promote him and let Bowles go?
They could.
Yeah. CeeLo, you know him. Does he want to keep coaching?
I'm sure he wants to keep coaching. I've never quite understood the fascination. I mean, obviously he can coach defense, maybe not last night in the fourth quarter. But that just seemed like one of those, he was there. It was a natural succession type thing, but I think their success the last few years, whatever it might be,
win the division.
It's not a great division, and I think it's more been based on what they've been doing offensively, which speaks to why Liam Cohen and Dave Canales ended up getting jobs elsewhere to be head coaches. So
I feel actually a little bad. Raheem Morris, the broadcast does him so dirty. Every time they put their camera on Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, he's not talking to anybody. It just makes it seem like he's standing there all by himself, like never talking to a player. I don't think I saw him one time in a shot. He's just like alone. I don't know.
But everyone says
he's definitely on the hot seat.
He's the guy that everyone loves, though, right? Raheem Morris. He's the most popular coach because they did get a shot of him at the end of the game celebrating.
Yeah, he was like yelling into the camera, which was really cool.
Yeah. He's just. I think somebody on our show said recently, like everybody loves Raheem Morris, but can he win enough games? That's the.
Some guys are born to be coordinators. I think Bowles is that guy, and I think Raheem Morris is probably that guy as well. We've seen the head coach thing kind of fail for him a few times now.
Yep. So. All right, what do you got, CeeLo?
All right, on Prize Picks, you simply pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less, and watch your lineups light up like the holidays. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. It was a wild one last night in Tampa. We heard the expletives from Bowles with the F-bombs and everything in his post-game press conference after his team coughs up the 14-point lead at home in the fourth quarter. So the Falcons get 2 touchdown drives, but both times fail with the 2-point conversion, so they need the third drive for the field goal, including a 4th and 14 conversion to set up Zane Gonzalez from 43 yards out for the win.
Snap spot, kick by Gonzalez. It is good. Fly home safely. Atlanta wins.
This is the end of the game.
29-28.
I love the ref coming on there. This is the end of the game. As if the
we know.
Buck fans need to know.
It's like playing the arcade. You play Street Fighter. It's like game over.
That was Falcons radio as they shocked the Bucs down the stretch. So as far as bowls goes, you were, I think Perloff specifically, you were wondering who or what exactly he was referring to in some of that anger. So he talked about the 3rd and 28, the 4th and 14. But you hear from Baker Mayfield, and this was a separate clip from the one you guys played already, went beyond the defense because he had an interception and then a 6-play, 8-yard drive resulting in a punt, which gave the ball back to Atlanta with 1:49 to play, needing only the field goal to win. Here was Baker.
Listen, you can say what you want about being up 2 scores and the defense right there, but we have to be better on offense, and it comes down to how I play. And this one's going to haunt me. This falls on my shoulders.
There you go. Taking the heat, the franchise quarterback, as the Bucs fall to 7-7 on a night where they got both Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan back, so pretty much full strength in terms of their offensive skill position players. I referenced Kyle Pitts already, game of his career, 11 catches, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Naturally, I had him on my bench for the fantasy football playoffs, so I've got to take some accountability myself. That was a bad managerial move. First tight end to reach at least 150 yards with 3 touchdowns in a game since Shannon Sharp in 1996.
Wait, hold on, CeeLo. Like the Falcons, have you already been eliminated from the playoffs, or
no?
For fantasy,
I'm right in the mix there.
Oof.
But that's a tough one to overcome when you got 45-point performance sitting on your bench.
Do you guys know
It's not
Kyle
what you want.
Pitts' claim to fame? He went to the same high school as Tom Perloff, my father, Abington High School in Philadelphia.
Wow, that's the only thing about him.
Yeah, pretty much. But Philly really embraces him because there aren't a lot of great football players out of the Philadelphia. Matt Ryan, it's out of actually, it's not really, it's
Abdul
a basketball
Carter,
town, famously.
It's not Abdul Carter from Philly?
Is he from Philly, though? Double check that. He could be.
Matt Ryan, I didn't know that. He's a Philly guy? Okay.
Yeah, but generally, Philly is obviously Rasheed Wallace.
Well, you're
and
more
Dawn
of a basketball
Staley.
town.
Dawn Staley has posters all over Philadelphia. We don't have a lot of football players, so we'll take Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Fair enough. Maybe he'll
He
end
grew
up
up in
the
North
Eagles
Philly,
someday.
Abdul Carter.
There you go.
Oh, he did? Okay. So, yeah, there we go.
LaSalle College High School.
Yeah. I will be distracting everybody with random little facts about several players today. David Sills, now Kyle Pitts. I don't know if there are any other. I'm going to look up some Mike Evans trivia. Go ahead, CeeLo.
Sounds good. The Colts still have not named their quarterback for Sunday's road game against the Seahawks, but, as far as his health is concerned, it looks like Riley Leonard should be available. Second straight day of full practice for him. Obviously, you've got the return of Phillip Rivers. You guys may have already played this, Bogish, or you played it on the show. I'm not sure, but I'll re-rack it, and we'll call it the award for the dumbest question of the week, fielded by Colts head coach Shane Steichen when he was asked about the age gap between he and Rivers.
The first player that you will have coached that's older than you?
I've coached someone who was older than me before, so it's obviously with age, everyone gets older. So, that was true 10 years ago. So, yeah.
It doesn't change. He's always going to be older than Shane Steichen, no matter what year he decides to come back and play.
I was wondering if he meant as a head coach, but I wonder if yes, as a coordinator, obviously he coached Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
He's never going to catch Phil.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Doesn't work
That's
that
not
way.
how time works. But I think he meant head coach, but oh boy.
They
Maybe
had
not
some
doing
laughs.
a Captain America situation where we freeze Phillip Rivers for a couple years and he comes back.
And if we're going to freeze anybody, we're sticking on Rivers.
Rivers is the guy. Yeah.
I'm sticking with my original take, by the way, because I saw practice footage of him. He is gigantic. Big tree fall hard. I think his size is going to.
Yeah, that was very disrespectful.
Yeah, it's not. No, I'm not saying he's overweight, but he's definitely put on a couple pounds since his playing days, and I think that that is going to support him when he gets taken down on Sunday. I'm not as worried about it. See, Maggie started the show. She was more worried about his health than how he's actually going to play. I think that he's got like Joe Flacco, but bigger. He's going to get sacked, and it'll be okay because he's got to weigh 250 right now.
No, I think all you guys want to see some like football snuff film here. That anyone who's rooting to watch this, you are rooting to watch an older person just get hurt.
Well,
he hasn't thrown a pass in 5 years. It's different than Flacco. Flacco's been in the training camps. He's been on the
This
field.
is our Al Bundy moment right here. Off the couch, right back into the game.
Yeah.
He's going to outweigh whoever's sacking him by 15 pounds.
Not all pounds are created equal here, Pearl.
Yeah, I know. I think that old guy's strength is going to, honestly, I think he's going to, actually, people are probably going to grab him and he's just going to throw him aside like remember Big Ben at the end?
Yeah.
Big Ben cannot be brought down.
He didn't take a 5-year break.
He looked like he did.
I'm not
Show me the
rooting for
evidence
him
on the field.
I'm not rooting for him to get hurt, but I definitely would. I want to see if he can do anything.
Oh, I mean,
I
this is
know,
a game of the
everyone does.
weekend. And it seems like Schefter seems to be implying that it's happening.
I mean, why would he go
Why
through
would
all
you
this
come back?
Yeah.
So you're going to reset your Hall of Fame candidacy by
Right.
5 years so
Yeah.
you can back up Riley Leonard when you're on the road in a game where you're a 14-point underdog?
Yeah, I agree.
You put it like that, not ideal.
I mean, for Rivers, I don't think it's about the Hall of Fame. I think I don't think he thinks like that.
Yeah.
But like that's the facts.
Yeah.
He's got to play.
Madden has updated their, I guess, roster. They've re-put him in the game, so he's a 70 on Madden.
I didn't even think to check the
Yeah, I was
Colts
wondering what his
depth
rating would be,
chart.
70.
I also saw.
Is that his age or his rating?
I saw, and I don't think it was real. If it was, it's tremendous. Someone put up a moving graphic of like, oh, they did Phillip Rivers dirty. Here's what he looks like, and coming back into Madden. I think somebody tweaked with it, but he looks obese essentially on the field.
Wait, I'm not saying that.
Perloff, was that you?
Wait, stop yelling at me. I'm just saying it's good to have a little extra padding when you're about to get sacked in the NFL. I think he's well prepared for this game.
I would agree.
Phil
I would
Rivers'
agree.
speed on Madden's a 59.
Wow, that seems
Blur.
generous.
It does seem generous, right?
I mean, listen, by Perloff's math here, Jared Lorenzen should have been one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. May he
I'm
rest
not
in
talking
peace.
about greatness. I'm talking about safety.
Could take a hit and not,
Do you ever see?
get hurt.
Well, you always see a guy gets blown up in the secondary. But if the guy who blows you up weighs 160 pounds, then the guy just pops right up like nothing happened. Weight is a big deal here. And old Big Ben was twice the size of the guys who were sacking him and never got hurt.
A lot of mass there.
Yeah. So as the line in Wedding Crashers, what is it? Big Tree Fall Hard. That's what I give. That's Bradley Cooper, right?
Yes.
One point.
Oh, that's
On
it.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
That is probably the best football
Left
scene in any
seven,
movie.
left seven, left seven.
Just move over here. I actually thought about that the other day. That might be one of my favorite moments in film history when he's trying to audible and Owen Wilson's ignoring him.
Honestly, this is so lame of me, but I love that movie and that era so much that I even like the fact that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are in a commercial together.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that lame?
Yeah.
Because it's like
watching football or
yeah,
something.
like they're
Underrated
just trying to
era
sell
for
you something.
movies.
He's like, you ever have guac pancakes or whatever? He's like, now you will. I don't know. They should do another movie.
Well, I
There's
mean,
like-
it is true. Like, because Vince Vaughn did a movie about Notre Dame and Owen Wilson is famously Mr. Texas. It kind of made sense. I bought it. I like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll even watch the commercial and chuckle. This is how much we're jonesing. The comedies are just not the same.
No.
Now, actually, I hate to say this, but the obvious sequel to Wedding Crashers would be Funeral Crashers.
Well,
they referenced
did
that with the Will Ferrell cameo.
Yeah, I know. Another just all-time scene.
He's kind of like Jack Nicholson in that way. So Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men is actually when he goes like, I ordered, did you order the code red?
yeah.
He's actually only in that movie for like 12 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Something
Amazing.
crazy. And I think he won the Oscar for Best Supporting or at least got nominated. It's the same thing with Will Ferrell and Wedding Crashers. He's in the movie for maybe 6-7 minutes.
It was epic.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
love-
obviously should have won the Oscar for that.
Same.
Mom, just to have up on stage with the Meatloaf clip.
I love that movie, but when it got into the romance part and like the back end,
Oh, yeah.
it dragged a little.
Of course.
So for him to come in at the end, I thought saved the day. It really did.
Well, landing the plane in a comedy it's impossible.
It's very hard.
It's hard to end a comedy.
Yeah, I
though,
mean,
was so
I'm just
good.
thinking, did Old School run in the same? Old School was pretty.
Old
which
School
is
is a great
sort of the
ending.
sister movie to that. That never lost it. That never got too
no,
into
I
the
just thought
romance.
Wedding and it was long because the first hour and a half or so is just loaded with laughs of Wedding Crashers, and then it becomes this kind of sappy romance, which is fine.
Yeah.
but it was long.
Oh my God,
You're right.
Anchorman's another one. I thought I love it.
Dragged.
Long. Very long.
Anchorman 1?
Yeah, the first time I watched Anchorman, I couldn't even get through it. And
serious?
yeah,
I
I
love
thought
it,
I
but
was
it
so
was long.
bored by
But
it.
you loved Anchorman 2.
But I love sequels. But I agree with CeeLo. I actually think one of the best comedies to ever, the one of the best like final scenes in a comedy is got to be Dumb and Dumber. When they're walking down the road and the women, the Hooters thing shows up and they all come out and
Oh
they go,
yeah, you're right.
they're like,
I
we're
haven't
looking
seen-
for two
I haven't seen
oil
Dumb and
boys
Dumber
to
in a
like
long
be with us.
time.
In the, you've never seen it, all right?
No, I've seen it. I've been watching it a while.
Yeah.
We're looking for
I
two
got
oil
it.
boys
Excuse
to
my
come.
friend. He's a little
He's a little
slow.
slow. The town is back
town
that
is
way.
back that way.
That was a great final laugh. And I think Hot Tub Time Machine, which is not a great movie or great comedy, but did land the plane where at the very end they pan out and he's on
Spoiler.
a huge yacht. It was from 2000.
Yeah.
That
one I can't. I can't.
They put a sequel out, and I don't think John Cusack agreed to be in it.
Shocker.
I gotta go back. I thought Anchorman was perfection from the opening credit to the ending credit.
I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie.
Yeah.
I just felt like
long.
Did it drag? I don't remember because
they didn't have to go as long as they did.
The dog over the bridge. His coming of age story. That movie's beautiful. What are we talking about?
I think they just could have shaved some time off. That's all.
Can we put a question out there on X? Like, what's the best ending to a comedy?
Yeah,
I'd have to give that.
You think about Billy Madison, where he's just like, "I'm glad I called that guy" with Steve Buscemi, but they're so silly,
Well, that's a genre. Young people listening probably like comedy movie. What's that? Because they don't make them anymore. Now you got stand up or nothing.
EJ, having never seen Dumb and Dumber in full, kind of broke my heart a little bit.
No, I have seen it. I don't remember the ending. Like I didn't see it enough to where I would remember the ending.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie, but
like
it's been a while.
it. It's from an age standpoint, it's not in your wheelhouse, but that's like for me. That's nothing against you.
It's like right before my time.
Broke my heart a little bit.
It was I thought that was one of the great endings to a comedy. 888-710-4ISN. All right, we'll put some more thought behind that. CeeLo, thank you. Coming up, we have a question for you about the Dallas Cowboys. Next.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king. Ship held it down night after night, with fire in his voice and truth in his mic. But the news came in like a cold hard slap. Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real, Shepard earned a late night deal. Now Shepard ain't sleeping and Daly's in tears. The Shepard maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled the moon and cursed at the sky, asking one question: why, oh why, oh why? Meanwhile, Bilotti still don't show up for work. No call, no text, just gone with a smirk. Yet Ship clocked in through the thick and the thin. Rain or shine, he'd always check in. Infinity, you broke our trust. We wanted Shep and that's a must. You picked a Boyle, but we needed flame. Now the overnights just won't be the same. Yeah, Shepard ain't sleeping, we're twisted with rage. You skipped the vet for the new kid on stage. From the Bronx to the burbs, we're standing tall. Shepard maniacs answer every call. So crank up the static, let the record show. There's only one man for that late night blow. Pat's got the slot, but it don't feel right, 'cause Shepard ain't sleeping, not tonight. Shepard ain't sleeping, we're twisted. Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king.
Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Good news for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, full participant at practice after he got knocked into the stratosphere. That game against Detroit, knocked out with a concussion, didn't come back in. Obviously, the Cowboys now, Pearl, with a big game against Minnesota, Sunday Night Football. And I know how you feel because you're an Eagle fan and because your team appears to be in free fall. Do you think there's any way that the Dallas Cowboys can catch the Eagles for the NFC East crown?
No, not really, because the Eagles have such an easy schedule. You know, they have Vegas this week. Even if you're in free fall, Vegas is coming to Philly at 1 p.m. Eastern time. How free fall do you have to be to not win that football game?
It would be, you should fire everybody if you lose that one. Did you see it was going to be Kenny Pickett?
No, I was just Googling that as we're talking. Then it's at Washington. I mean, they just got destroyed last week. Your Bills at Buffalo on Sunday, December 28th. Almost, I would load manage that game.
Honestly, I was thinking about that too. I hate this game on both your and my schedules for our teams. It just makes no sense.
By the way, the weather, I think it's going to be a weather game for the Eagles-Raiders as well. There's no way the Raiders are going to win in the cold in Philadelphia. So, unfortunately for Cowboys fans, I think the Eagles get a couple of gimmies and get to 10 wins at least, and that might be too much for Dallas.
Here is Dak Prescott saying that not only do the Cowboys have to win every single game, obviously, but no fan of the Eagles.
He's got to go win every game. I mean, that's all I can control. I'm going to root against them regardless. So whether we're in this position or not. I got to control what I can control and go win games on my end.
George obviously took a lot of criticism. George did. How have you seen him respond, and did you have a
Amazing.
conversation with him?
Yeah, he's responded.
Yeah, so you'll remember the last time we saw the Cowboys, George Pickens was getting criticized mostly on social media. I don't even think they really mentioned on the broadcast, but definitely criticized on social media, appeared to kind of not give max effort on a couple plays. Richard Sherman called him out on the Amazon broadcast. George Pickens responded for Sherman, called him some pretty bad names in an Instagram post that he deleted.
So I have a question for you. If the Cowboys do play well at the end of the year, but don't make the playoffs, does that mean anything going forward?
You know, I think that the George Pickens and Quinnen Williams additions mean something. Yeah, it's going to be a disappointing season for the Cowboys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, but you started the year with all the Micah Parsons drama and you traded him away and it looked bad. I mean, the defense got markedly worse. I mean, they were the worst defense in the league by some metrics. And then I think Jerry kind of saved things and salvaged things a little bit with the Quinnen Williams trade. You could see that the run defense certainly did get better. Unfortunately, not against the Lions when you really needed it. But Quinnen Williams, and I do think George Pickens, I'd franchise tag him and call his bluff that he's not going to play. I think after Le'Veon Bell sat out for a year, I don't think that players want to do that anymore. Is it going to be painful and awful and annoying? Yes, but I think ultimately George Pickens would play on the franchise tag.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, when you first said that a few weeks ago, I didn't agree. I thought not making the playoffs would be a disaster, but I think you're right. There could be some positive momentum. And honestly, say they won out and were 10-6-1 and missed the playoffs, then that's a lot better than letting up 48 points to the Packers in the wild card round. It would be almost funny. It'd be almost ironically the best way to end the season, so they don't go into the playoffs and have Dak Prescott let them down again. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just that's the way it was under the Mike McCarthy era. By the way, Dak Prescott should like the Eagles because he puts up so many stats against them. He owns the Eagles. But thank God J.J. McCarthy had a good game last week to make Sunday night watchable. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, fair point. All right, coming up, lots to do. We got to get you more details on what's going on with Sharon Moore. We've got more details on what happened in that apartment that led to him being detained. Not good. Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
If you missed it last night, Atlanta wins on a walk-off field goal, 29-28, and now Todd Bowles' future with the Bucks may be in question. Bucks blew a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. We'll get back to that game in just a little bit, but Perloff, more details have emerged from the Sharon Moore story at Michigan. So obviously, catch up on the details here. Sharon Moore's obviously been fired. He had an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. We still don't know who it is, but we have an idea of who it is. A lot of people are pointing to an executive assistant. But anyway, the details that have emerged now about the state of his well-being and what's going on with Sharon Moore. So according to John Bacon, who is an award-winning author who's very plugged in with the Michigan program, what he is saying is that in the summer, Michigan did do an investigation into whether or not there was an inappropriate relationship going on with Sharon Moore and the executive assistant. Mm-hmm. According to him, both parties said there's nothing to see here, and the university believed them. So they both said we're not having a relationship, and the investigation ended. That changed 2 days ago when the woman who is involved in the side of the affair, came to Michigan powers that be with indisputable evidence that they were having an affair. He was fired basically on the spot, and that's when he then allegedly drove to her apartment, may have had a knife, may have been threatening her, and also to harm himself.
Right. Or may have grabbed a knife from
Grabbed
the
a
kid,
knife.
possible,
He didn't bring it, I don't think, into the apartment.
That was the way I read it, but you're right. These details, we don't want to get any of them wrong because they haven't all been put out there.
And we're not trying to do anything except for paint a picture by what is reporting that is out there from credible sources. Okay, credible sources, and John Bacon would certainly be one of those. So obviously, something happened in their relationship that changed, where all of a sudden she then came with the receipts, and I can imagine, Pearl, this is me. Obviously, he freaks out. And he left the apartment building, and they have found him at a nearby church. Yeah. And then he was he was on a mental health watch since then. He's going to be in court today. Yeah,
I believe there was a 911 call where his saying somebody was suicidal. So that is in the mix as well. There's also criticism of Michigan AD Ward Manuel, who apparently fired him without HR present and which is possibly a problem as well. Ward Manuel has some questions too about how the longer timeline about how this unfolded, because there's a lot of people who said, "Oh, we all knew about it." There's a lot of reporters are saying we all knew about it going back.
Open secret.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of facts about not just what happened this week, but what happened the last several months.
Oh, I think Ward Manuel's out. I mean,
I was wondering if he's out.
You can see that there's kind of like a wave too. If you're really online, like social media, you're seeing the report from Nicole Auerbach that Sharon Moore was fired without HR, without a mental health professional, even though they knew that maybe he was dealing with some mental health issues.
No security either was a big thing.
And no security. Thank you, EJ. And so, and then you're looking at also people who are rightfully, this is not a pile-on. This is just the facts. There have been the issues with Juwan Howard from the basketball side of things and what happened, how he was fired. And also on the hockey program, the coach was fired there, Pearl, because
men's hockey.
Men's hockey.
Yeah.
And the allegations were that the coach was being wildly inappropriate with some of the things that he was saying
Oh.
to the players. So, he's got a couple things, let alone Harbaugh, the sign stealing, all the other stuff that happened with the football program. Another coach, Matt Weiss, who's facing federal charges for hacking into a phone. Like, a lot of bleep has gone down here on Ward Manuel's timeline, or his time as AD. Yet he also is residing and presiding over unprecedented heights for the athletic department, too.
Right. I mean, they got the national title. The basketball team's on fire right now. What is going on with the two public universities in the state of Michigan? Because obviously, as bad as all this is, Michigan State is an all-time blight of a program.
Yeah, well, kind of two, I don't want to say unforced errors because we don't know exactly everything that's going on with Sharon Moore. I want to kind of hold off. But the same thing happened with Mel Tucker. I mean, the allegations there that he was, being completely inappropriate with a woman who, ironically, is there on campus to explain to the football players how to treat women respectfully.
Right. In the era, in a program that had Larry Nassar and scandal, which is still one of the all-time horrible sports scandals. A doctor who did inappropriate things. Yeah, it's this is embarrassing. Michigan's a different level altogether. But, it's so funny. I kept thinking last night, we had an interview yesterday that Michigan, with Mike Valenti, a Detroit radio host, said Michigan probably wanted to get rid of Sharon Moore anyway because the team was completely non-threatening this year. If they got in the playoffs, they wouldn't have had a chance. They just didn't look good.
So one thing about the Ward Manuel part of this and the athletic director is obviously Michigan needs a new head coach.
Yeah.
Right? Whether they wanted to get rid of Sharon Moore and this sort of fell in their lap or whatever, it's still so embarrassing for the university. But who's going to be making the hire? So you're hearing a lot of things like, they want to make this hire within the next 8 to 10 days, that they want to move quickly here. And one of the biggest names that's been floating out there is Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of Alabama. So our pal Andy Staples on his podcast yesterday had this to say.
I would say right now the people at Alabama do not believe that Kalen DeBoer is going anywhere. We are getting some indications that perhaps he'd be open to talking to Michigan. I don't think, and we talked about this last night, that Kalen DeBoer would do anything that would resemble the Lane Kiffin exit from Ole Miss.
Okay, so what Andy's kind of telling you there, obviously, is that DeBoer might be into it, but you got to go through the college football playoff first. So they play Oklahoma a week from today. Would Michigan, and again, who's making this hire, by the way, right? Like, I don't think Ward Manuel is going to survive this, but who can you afford to wait? National Signing Day, the transfer portal opens on January 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, you explain this to me like I'm a child.
Yeah.
Why would the head coach of Alabama, who is in the playoff, be a candidate for Michigan, who is a mess right now? Like, which side, who wants out of this? Does the Alabama want out? Does Kalen DeBoer want out? What's going on down there? And why would Michigan, in this state of flux, be a better job at this point of the year in December when you were already behind the 8 ball and building next year's team?
Michigan is definitely not a better job today. I'll give you that.
Right.
Today it's not. But you got to think if he's actually interested in the Michigan job, it's about the next decade. That he wants to either A, be back in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Where Kalen DeBoer, maybe it's more of a geographic fit.
He wasn't in the Big Ten, though. Had they moved over yet?
But didn't he coach Indiana?
He goes to Indiana as an offensive coordinator.
Right.
And then at Washington. So
Washington, I think that was the last year of the Pac-12.
He was in the Pac-12 with Washington.
Okay, but
But
anyway.
But also, you said yesterday from South Dakota.
So he's got more of a geographic tie. And also maybe there's a thought of, I don't know, do you want to try to show Alabama, hey, the fan base is split on me. I'm never going to be Nick Saban. Feels like I'm getting criticized all the time. Maybe I go to a place where I can be the conquering hero, the savior, as opposed to the guy who's never going to be Nick Saban.
But he got to the playoff this year because he's Alabama. There are a lot of advantages to that program. And honestly, last year was not ideal, but it wasn't a train wreck. And this year has been better. I mean, I think it's trending up.
So do you think DeBoer is just keeping this out there to get some extra money from Alabama? Is he just working this situation? Because
I don't know.
The Penn State stuff lingered out there for a lot longer than it probably needed to.
And then he did say to several reporters, like, I never, when he finally got asked about it, we did this story. He
Yep.
said, like, if you just asked me, that was never a thing. So I don't know. It's hard to trust anything in these coaching carousels. Maybe he's letting it out there because he wants more money, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not true. Not that it's a lie, but maybe he's perfectly. If he wins this game against Oklahoma, then Alabama's like, all right, you won a playoff game, we're fine. I mean, is it title or bust at Alabama already? I feel like they'd be.
Yes.
I don't know, really.
Yes. I think it is.
Again, we talked about the same issue with LSU. In the playoff era, I don't think we're in the title or bust era anymore.
Sorry,
I think you just got to get to the playoff.
I think next year is this year, yes, making the playoff. I think if they lose to Oklahoma, which they already did once this season at home, I think people are not going to be pleased about that. Because it's not like Oklahoma is some juggernaut. They've got a great defense, but their offense is not very good. So
right, but again, it's in the playoff era. What are you supposed to do? I mean, it's a crapshoot once you get there. I think every fan base has changed their expectation already.
Wait, you can't do that. This is not baseball. You can't do the crapshoot when you get to
It's such
the
a
bracket.
crapshoot. It was Ohio State got destroyed by Michigan and then won the title. I mean, what's more of a crapshoot than that?
No, but Ohio State was still one of the top teams. It's if it was a real crapshoot, then James Madison could have a chance.
No,
if
but
it was a
this is-
crapshoot, Tulane could have a chance.
Well,
and
take
nobody's giving them a
out the
chance.
group of 5 schools. This is a very even field. Like, you're going to put all those teams except for Ohio State, and the spreads are going to be close. I mean, I would like to see Alabama, Indiana. You think Indiana is going to be a huge favorite over Alabama? No, they're the 2 team versus the 10 team. So yeah, I think it is a crapshoot.
I think people will look at where Alabama landed in the bracket in that 8-9 game with the top of the bracket with Indiana and with Texas Tech, as opposed to Ohio State and Georgia, who were used to winning national titles, and say Alabama should go far here. Although Bama's not playing well at all over the last month.
Well,
Indiana
tough,
just
but-
lost one of their big defensive players. You see, is not going to play in the game.
But I do think there is a crapshoot element. Notre Dame was not the team last year, and they got to the final game. I think EJ's Miami Hurricanes are just as dangerous as anybody else in this field, and they're 10. So, no, I maybe I'm wrong, but I do think it's a new universe. It's not the Nick Saban Alabama, but it's not that for anybody. I think if you get to the playoff, that gives you some security as a coach. Even at these top programs, I think that's where we're disagreeing a little bit. You think, what are the schools where that could be the exception? Ohio State and Alabama?
I think Ohio State, Alabama, I would probably say Georgia. But Kirby Smart's not going anywhere, and he's not on the hot seat. I'm just saying teams where it's just not simply enough to make the playoff.
Georgia was not. I mean, Georgia.
No, they lost last year. I get it. But
I know, and they're not. That expectation is not a title this year. Coming in, it was not a title. I mean, Gunnar Stockton's okay, but I don't think anybody looked at that Georgia team anything like the Georgia team from 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe a little bit different after they smoked Alabama in the SEC championship game. Then maybe you start saying, all right, well, now we believe, and maybe we are the best team in this bracket.
But it's not title or bust. That's my point.
Fair. Totally fair. I think for many teams, like you can see 98% of them, yes, just making the playoff is good enough. Alabama is different. And
I
Kalen DeBoer, Michigan is not different. You can make the bracket and people would love you for it.
I don't know if that's true either. Now, Michigan has the title.
They do. Now, let's talk about that title for a second.
Yes.
We're talking about the Michigan situation with Sharon Moore, again, expected to be arraigned in court today. And I'm curious why it took like an extra 24 hours, basically, of him being detained. I would love to know the reason for that.
The only thing I'm thinking is maybe because he was in a bad mental
state.
Maybe they say they want him more in a clear mind while he goes through this.
Yeah, that's fair. Is this tainting the Jim Harbaugh legacy at all at Michigan? Now, you'll never take the title away, right? Some people probably think
this
you should.
did happen this week.
His whole coaching tree, Pearl.
Yeah.
Find somebody who came out of this unscathed.
Jesse Minter.
He's got a show cause penalty. He can't even take this job if he wanted to because it doesn't expire until April.
Right, but he's going to be an NFL head coach.
Okay, well, he's talented and he got out, but he basically had to. They had to scurry away to the NFL.
Who else is? Obviously Connor Stallions.
Connor Stallions,
a legend now.
Well, okay, to Dave Portnoy maybe. He looked like a dope in that Netflix documentary, Connor.
I don't think it affects a title at all.
It's not affect the title. The title you have, that's not it. It's not about the title. The legacy of Harbaugh. And if you
0%.
Okay,
Pete Carroll got in more trouble than anyone, and nobody after time, you forget all that.
Not like this.
Yeah, but this isn't. This Jim Harbaugh didn't do this. He's in the NFL coaching Justin Herbert.
No, but he put in his contract that Michigan had to hire this guy. Like he made it clear that when he was going to move on, that he was grooming Sherrone Moore, and there's quotes saying that this is the right man, a right Michigan man to lead this program into the future. And now he's in a jail cell. You can't just separate that from.
But this
Jim
all
Harbaugh.
happened after Harbaugh left. Maybe if Harbaugh was there as a steadying influence, because before this, Sherrone Moore was well thought of. He was a family man. You know,
maybe the literal of it is not that bad, but when you consider the optics and the noise around the championship season and the sanctions and all of that, now this happens after you handpick the coach. This is a terrible look.
And people are not going to remember this, which is weird, but, because ultimately at the end they won, that he was suspended for 6 different games in the season that they won the title. It is unique, Pearl. You got to hand us that.
No, I honestly, okay, maybe, but Sherrone Moore, what it's happening this month has
they've become
nothing
the
at all to
70s
do.
Raiders.
What's that?
They've become the 70s Raiders. When did this happen?
What does Jim Harbaugh have to do with this, though?
I think you're really separating Jim Harbaugh from Sherrone Moore in a way that isn't accurate in terms of just how Jim Harbaugh had told Michigan you had to hire this guy. He groomed the guy for the position. This was not I'm leaving and then you guys do whatever you want. This was not Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer, for example. Where clearly Kalen DeBoer is not a Nick Saban guy. This was supposed to be, we're continuing the Harbaugh legacy by bringing on the offensive coordinator that he literally had in his contract had to be the next head coach.
Well, Jim Harbaugh knew him as a football coach. I mean, there are a lot of people who we know on one level professionally, and we don't know about their personal lives.
But what is Sherrone Moore's viral moment as a head coach?
Handing the ball off all the time.
And what do you do after that game?
What?
Him crying to the cameras, saying, "I love you, Jim Harbaugh. I effing love you. You're the best ever. We did this for you, coach." That's a viral moment that lives on for a lot of people in terms of what Sherrone Moore was as a head coach. And that was not about football. That was about how much he loves him as a man.
Right, but this is okay. That's fine. But Sherrone Moore is his own man. He's not a kid. There's nothing to. I don't know. Before you guys, I haven't heard anybody talking about Jim Harbaugh this week. He's got a job in L.A.
I think that it's more about the volume of things that went on with Jim Harbaugh. Because, you're right, Sherrone Moore, is Jim Harbaugh responsible for some kind of, potential psychotic break that Sherrone Moore had?
Family issues that have nothing to do with Jim Harbaugh.
And I understand that, not every guy who cheats on his wife has gotten fired before, right? I understand this kind of stuff goes on. But the one thing about it was Sherrone Moore being kind of reckless here. Mm-hmm. And did Jim Harbaugh have any indication of that? Because Josh Pate and other people and these insiders are saying they knew that he was having some kind of relationship with a staffer going back before the season even started. That didn't probably start at the drop of a hat. Do you guys, I think guys also know this. Mm. I think some of you guys know. Some guys just can't be faithful and can't. And I think you guys know kind of who's who and the what's what. Now, maybe not. Maybe he hid it from everybody, but not enough that it was an open secret. I wonder if Jim Harbaugh knew, I'm handing the keys over to somebody who might be a great football coach, but is not the best in terms of decision making in his personal life. I'm just asking.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, we're about to watch the college football playoff. You wouldn't be able to field coaching staffs if you were going to have a faithful coaching staff. Come on, first of all, college professionals are all trained liars. That's their number one job. They're recruiters. You think that they have ethical? I mean, everybody knows that. College basketball is the worst. Coaches are dogs. They're all out on the road.
Well, and this one escalated though to a point
where
where
we're in the sports media industry. You don't think this industry is filled with dogs? But I don't think that's your. I don't think another person's unfaithfulness is your problem professionally.
But it's not about unfaithfulness. It's about the inappropriate relationship with a subordinate.
That happened after Harbaugh left. He did not know about
aftermath of that.
He's not there. Jim Harbaugh's long gone.
No, but did he have any inkling that Sherrone Moore would be capable of doing this? Because you can't do the whataboutism that of look at our industry, even where it didn't tank a network.
Yes, it did. I mean, there's multiple networks who've been absolutely tanked by infidelity issues.
Okay, but this is something that is hurting the Michigan program. So you can't just say because it happens other places that Michigan should just suck it up. Jim Harbaugh there's nothing about this that comes back on him. And I would say it's also about Matt Weiss, the guy who was hacking into phones, doing it in Schembechler Hall.
That's an individual.
No. But who knew what when? that he had been doing this for years and that they may have been one of those situations where they said, hey, knock it off, but never really put in any real guardrails for this guy who clearly has a problem.
Okay, I'll give you that, but I cannot blame. I mean, Sharon Moore is a grown man. And just to blame that on Jim Harbaugh would be ridiculous to me.
Maybe, EJ, throw a poll question. Does Sharon Moore's situation, however you want to put that, reflect poorly on Jim Harbaugh or not? Or is it totally separate? I'd be curious what people think about it because I think I see both sides of it, but I just wonder when you know a guy that well, do you know, like, do I trust his decision-making off the field? Because, you know, the head coach of a football program, you're right. There's a lot of people who are very flawed individuals who get these jobs, but the stakes are really high. You know, because like when something happens like a Hugh Freeze or some of these other, you know, Bobby Petrino, these guys, like, whether they get jobs again or not.
They're not that high, obviously.
No, but yeah, right. But whether they get jobs again or not, like, they do real damage. If you love Michigan, like Jim Harbaugh claims to, and you only want the best for the program, did he leave the right person in charge?
But I don't think he knew about it. You just can't. As a professional, it's hard to assess other professionals' personal life. It's just very, very hard.
But he's like 0 for 50. Like, he missed on Stallions. He missed on the guy that was allegedly...
Stallions?
Yeah, he missed on Stallions. Got caught cheating. What do you mean? He did miss on him.
I think he hit on him.
Well, that's one way to look at it. But it did for people that are outside of Michigan, it did cast a shadow. He missed on the guy that was hacking phones. He's now missed on Sharon Moore. Like, you could say these are individuals, but once you start to add a collection of these guys, it's like, whoa, what was going on here? How come you got all these guys who have all these issues off the field?
I mean, you just named two. Who?
I named three.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Minter, though,
two of them are criminal. Two guys have been arrested.
I mean, was Connor Stallions really right underneath Jim Harbaugh?
No, but Jim Harbaugh tried to say he didn't know anything about the guy, which was also a lie.
I mean, do you think that 20th guy on the staff, like, that's on Jim Harbaugh? There was 50 layers between Connor Stallions and Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, but he was using the information that Stallions was giving him. And he was right behind him on the sideline. Like, they weren't that far apart. It's not like he was in a van down the street while Jim Harbaugh was coaching.
I think you guys have probably, everyone in this room has probably worked with people who had different things going on in their personal life than you even knew about.
For sure. But if you have multiple instances of things happening.
I'm sure you've been bosses of people that you did not know was happening behind the scenes. Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
No, I was just saying, when you consider the amount of infractions that are now piling up, the guy at the top, you know, if there was a college football RICO, you might have to take Harbaugh down.
But he's not at the top now. This Sharon Moore thing, I mean, there's been no evidence that the program knew about this while Harbaugh was there. So he can't put him in this story. This story, I just don't think Harbaugh belongs to there. I think it's almost unfair to him.
So I think this is the other place where we maybe divide, right? Is if we don't know when this affair started between the two of them, but do you think that Jim Harbaugh had any inkling that Sharon Moore may have been putting himself in a compromising situation?
Maybe not.
We don't know.
I mean, Jim Harbaugh, yeah, first of all, he's an old man. I mean, he's got his own thing going on. Who knows what Jim Harbaugh knows or doesn't know? He is very focused on football. He might not know anything. By the way, did you know John Bacon, the reporter here?
Yeah.
Great-great-grandson of Francis Bacon, the philosopher.
You're making that up.
I'm dead serious.
You're doing this thing where you're trying to catch me. I knew it.
I actually was thinking about this bit. It turns out it doesn't work at all.
I was like,
Francis Bacon.
You need another great in there, wouldn't you?
Francis Bacon. Yeah, you knew more than me. I thought Francis Bacon might be from the 1800s, 1613.
Yeah, you got to go way back. That's not a great grandson.
Yeah, I did not know what era Francis Bacon was from. He's one of those guys. He's like a philosophy guy. Like, you know the name. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Like Hume or whatever.
Yeah, Rousseau.
Kierkegaard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I know what they were talking about.
But you have to admit, John U. Bacon, it's John U. Bacon, right? Mm-hmm. It is an interesting name. It kind of stands out.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him until yesterday.
He's got the info. He's a bestseller. He writes books about, like, ships and what happened.
John U. Bacon's the kind of name that you put on for a fake reference for a job you're looking for.
Hey, wait,
call John U. Bacon.
And how is he so in the know on Michigan?
Plugged in.
Is he a sports journalist?
He's a historian.
Yeah, he's an author.
Yeah,
he's a best-selling author of books about. Now we're just giving him a free plug, even though he politely declined to come on the show today, which I was not happy about.
You guys are saying, like, Pearl, what do you mean? How is he plugged in? He writes about ships. Of course he's plugged into the Wolverine. Wait, explain.
He wrote about the Andrea Doria.
Does he have a podcast with Dan Wetzel on Yahoo? Is he how did he even get word out that he knew about this? Does he do some reporting on the side?
He's had some other stuff.
I don't know how anybody's getting any information on Michigan stuff, by the way, because it's not just John U. Bacon. It's just like UM fan 675 who has all the information on this too, because stuff Bacon was saying I was seeing on the internet from random Twitter users.
Okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
He wrote a book with Bo Schembechler. He's known as a Michigan historian. He wrote Bo's Lasting Lessons. The legendary coach teaches timeless. Bo Schembechler and John Bacon. So he's handpicked by the Godfather.
Well, it's just kind of weird. It's like an author, is John Grisham going to tell us who the next coach of Tennessee is? It's just, this whole thing is bizarre.
He's actually written a few college books, Fourth and Long, something about college football. But then he also wrote a book called The Great Halifax Explosion and the Gales of November. So,
well, yeah, of course.
You know,
who can forget that? I also, it's the weird thing. Did you guys see the headline yesterday that Biff Poggi, the interim coach, is a hedge fund millionaire?
Yeah, I saw that.
What the heck is going on in Michigan?
Yeah, most interesting guy in coaching, they always say about him.
I didn't know that.
Wild man.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So he's the stabilizing force here?
He's gotten zero buzz about taking the job permanently. And even if he's getting the job, it's only for a year until they
the
can
last time he
post him
coached, he was Charlotte, and he started his first press conference cursing out the media.
Yeah.
He's a crazy man, too.
He got fired.
That's your stabilizing force? That's wonderful.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, we're talking about Michigan. Do you put any of this Sharon Moore situation on Jim Harbaugh? Does it taint his legacy with Michigan at all? Coming up next, we've got an update for you. A scary situation with TJ Watt. Tell you about it next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. We put it out there on X. What comedy movie has the best ending? Because we were talking earlier in the show, comedies tend to fall flat in the last act. It started because we're talking about Wedding Crasher because of the line, "Big tree fall hard" when they're playing football in the backyard and Vince Vaughn gets sacked by Bradley Cooper. That's going to be Phillip Rivers basically on Sunday. It's going to be Vince Vaughn in the movie Wedding Crashers.
Yikes.
It feels like Phillip Rivers is like a dad playing steady quarterback. But I actually, in my mind, I recall Wedding Crashers perfect, Old School perfect. You mentioned Dumb and Dumber perfect. All these comedies, yes, the last act kind of stinks, but you don't remember that. They're still perfect comedies.
Yeah, I went to a couple lists, and I'm embarrassed to say some of these I haven't seen. I've never seen Some Like It Hot with like Marilyn Monroe.
64 though, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's putting that forward as their vote here in 2025.
Maybe not. A couple Monty Python movies that
you're saying perfect endings?
Yeah, perfect endings. What else here? Oh man, I'm sorry. Like, I don't love these lists. You know?
Some Like It Hot is basically Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis pretend they're women and to get on tour with Marilyn Monroe. I believe I have the plot right.
Okay.
In 1964, you could fake looking like they didn't look a thing like women.
Actually, there's a couple of those on this list. Tootsie was one of them, apparently, as a perfect ending.
So obvious.
Old school movies, okay.
Miss Doubtfire, I mean, come on.
Well, I don't remember the ending of that one. I'm sure it's probably
I'm just saying, like, you didn't know that was Robin Williams?
That was
the
more Birdcage. The Birdcage, apparently. And that actually does have a really good ending. I do remember that. It was a very funny movie with where they also dress up as women.
I was just talking about men pretending to be women who are so obviously men. Like, come on, it's like the guy's going to have the hots for Mrs. Doubtfire. I couldn't buy it.
Wait, hold on.
He didn't have the hot.
You're talking about the old man bus
driver.
Yeah,
no.
But
you
at least they were in the same age range, you know?
Yeah, but
his eyesight's not so good.
Right. And then the stockings come down and the leg hair, and he's like, I like a natural woman.
Yeah, Some Like It Hot was even
such a good scene when he's getting drunk and mixing up the tables that he's going to, as Robin Williams keeps going in between
his boss and the family dinner.
He sits down as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, right. And he sold it perfectly to the boss as well.
Hammered on the whiskey.
I just saw that. I haven't seen that movie in years. I saw that exact scene. I was like, oh, this is 80s
awesome
comedy gold.
Actually, so that's
90s.
That's
90s.
That's a great ending where he ends up getting the children's show.
Yes.
That's like a Mr. Rogers type thing, but as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
Keep them coming.
We referenced Dumb and Dumber earlier. I'm also partial to Ace Ventura. We talk about Jim Carrey movies.
Now we're back to football. Then
that's
a football
good one.
movie.
Dan Marino at the end.
And with Einhorn and the whole
Finkel's
situation
Einhorn.
and the big reveal. Without going into further detail, that's a pretty good one.
On the show.
Maggie's a big Ace Ventura.
We played Ace Ventura's ending on the show.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
And then he beats the crap out of the mascot when they honor him at the Dolphins game.
That's
pretty good.
Very funny.
Yeah. All right, let's do actual football.
Yeah, transition to some real news. What's going on there?
Fourth quarter comeback by the Falcons last night in Tampa to open up NFL Week 15, which included an all-time tight end performance.
Snap to Cousins. Tampa brings the pressure. The throwing for the end zone. It's Pitts. Did he hold on through? Did he? Give me a signal, fellas. Touchdown, Atlanta.
There you go. Falcons radio third TD catch of the night for Kyle Pitts. 11 grabs total for 166 yards and the 3 scores. First tight end game of its kind since Shannon Sharp back in 1996. But that wasn't enough because the Falcons failed on another 2-point try. Their defense got them the ball back, and they go down the field to set up Zane Gonzalez for the game-winning 43-yard field goal. Falcons erase a 14-point fourth quarter deficit to stun the Bucs 29-28 on that final drive. They had a 3rd and 28 and then a 4th and 14. They got the conversion, rather, much to the displeasure of Todd Bowles. Once he was done cursing up a storm during his post-game press conference, he offered this. Hey, it's on the players to perform.
At this point, you've seen everything in the season. You know, the coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable.
Pretty much washing his hands of it there, and said that's why we continue to lose games, at least right now.
As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right, and that's not everybody. We're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat, and until that happens, it's not going to get right.
I got to be honest. I wonder if Todd Bowles realized what he just did here last night. If they don't, he just called out everyone on the team, right?
Yeah.
Or he called out the leaders on the team. If they don't rebound here to beat Carolina twice and make the playoffs, he's done.
Yeah.
Now, if they do, he's going to look like a genius, and he pushed the right buttons at the right time. And this is obviously pent up from last week's loss, too, to the Saints. So you've lost 2 in a row now, weaker division opponents. But if he miscalculates this, he's out.
But might be worth the risk, because what do you have to lose here?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's
Now's
like
the time.
he's going to get fired anyway, so I might as well just see
publicly challenge the team?
Yeah, because he's like, if I just let this go, we're going to lose and get fired. So I might as well see if this sparks a fire on these guys.
There's no fire on defense right now. You can tell. They look very flat.
Worked out for Jim Fossil with the Giants years ago, but that's one example. I'm sure there are many others where it
they
didn't
made the
work out.
Super Bowl. Then what happened?
You're right. Yeah, it was a bloodbath, but they did get there.
They did get there.
Well, they always have that NFC Championship game against the Vikings.
That's true.
Anyway, Bucs have dropped 5 of their last 6 to fall to 7-7 after opening the season 6-2. I wanted to get to this last hour, didn't? The T.J. Watt situation, which is bizarre. So he's in a local hospital for lung evaluation after experiencing discomfort at the practice facility Wednesday. So obviously his status for the Monday Nighter against the Dolphins is certainly in question. There was a little audio from Mike Tomlin commenting on it yesterday, I guess, during his press conference, but not a lot of details or specifics. But before I play that, the report from Adam Schefter was that the lung injury occurred during treatment at the team facility Wednesday. Here was some of Tomlin commenting on the Watt situation.
He was experiencing some discomfort when he was at the facility yesterday, and so we took him to the docs, and they're going through some procedures. He stayed overnight in the hospital. He has a lung situation that's being addressed. I think he has some testing and so forth ahead of him this afternoon, and that's all I know at this juncture.
So kind of vague from him, and then one more shorter one here on his interaction with Watt specifically.
He and I communicated last night. He was comfortable, and that's all I have really at this point. His status for Monday night is really up in the air. I think what transpires this afternoon is going to provide more information for us. I just don't have a lot as I stand here today.
Again, this was from yesterday, so vague on details as far as what happened or what led to it. But,
well, I think most people, including me, jump to the conclusion of, oh, this is like a Tyrod Taylor situation where he might have gotten a shot for some discomfort and then it accidentally collapsed the lung. David Chow, the doctor on social media, said that's no way that would have happened. You wouldn't have given a guy a pain-killing shot if
during
he had
treatment
on a Wednesday when you're playing Monday. Like, it doesn't work like that. He goes, what he thought it could be is like a blood clot that could have traveled from his leg to his lungs. Because on Wednesday, it's not a practice day if it's a Monday Night Football game. So he was in getting treatment for something else. Maybe gets shortness of breath and some other things, and then they go get him checked out, and it's a blood clot.
I mean, the Steelers famously don't win without T.J. Watt. They're 1-10 in regular season. I think 1-11 overall. But I just looked at the weather for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
20 degrees with a real feel of 8 degrees. So can Miami, even with no TJ Watt?
One in New Jersey the other day when it was freezing.
8 degrees real feel? It wasn't that cold.
They own the Jets. I had the same thought. Tua and the Dolphins.
But did it get down there anywhere close to
No.
that?
And the other thing
Oh, it's 41 degrees. It's in the same story.
No, but it was the real feel I felt like was much worse. But
the other thing with the Dolphins right now, though, is it's different because they're leaning on the run game a lot now.
Yeah,
So it's
taking Tua out of
It's
it.
a different style. So maybe that plays a little bit
but
more on the
wait,
road.
isn't H.M. banged up, though?
Yeah, I was going to say, is H.M. I know he's
great.
Yeah.
Always banged up, but he's excellent. Yeah.
But again, the Steelers at home, even with no TJ Watt, if they're debating, like, do we have to rush this guy out here in this situation to win this game, which isn't a huge game, I hope they're careful if it's what you described.
Yeah, Monday night in Pittsburgh, and then a couple of these Sunday 1 o'clocks as well. The Midwest, Chicago, you're looking at 11 degrees. Same in Cincinnati.
Yeah, minus 10 real feel.
And Kansas City will be chilly as well.
How's Shador going to throw for 300 yards again?
I don't know, but even though winter's not here, it is. It's amazing we're still technically in fall as far as the seasons are concerned.
I know that's always such BS. Wait, I'm
Yeah.
trying to check out
is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the first day of winter is not
Usually
technically
like the 20th, 21st.
Oh, right.
Winter solstice has not arrived just yet, even though it feels like
Yeah,
it.
I keep saying it's winter, and Andrea's like, shut up, it's still fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
The other part-
I'm wearing a winter coat. It's winter.
Yeah.
hat, gloves. The other part too is I looked up the other day. I'm like, man, we have to be like getting close to the shortest day of the year because it feels like it's getting dark at 3:00 in the afternoon right now. Not even close. Comes in late January.
Late January.
Yeah.
What? I thought it was the solstice was
It's not the
21st.
solstice. Yeah, I thought the solstice was
Yeah,
the
I thought it was
darkest.
too.
I just looked. I looked it up the other day. Go ahead, CeeLo, and I'll look it up.
Shortest day of the year. You'll check that out for us?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, a couple of other injury notes elsewhere. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is out of concussion protocol, so he's expected to return Sunday against the Vikings. And, I mean, at this point, the Raiders are so bad, who cares? But Geno Smith not practicing again, so it looks like Kenny Pickett might get his first Raiders start against the team that he technically has a Super Bowl ring with. That, of course, being the Eagles, as he was on their roster last year.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he can slice and dice that Eagles defense. Sorry, it is December 21st. Apologies.
All right.
I thought it was January.
So it's coming soon then.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We get over the hump and we start to work our way back towards the spring.
I swear, we leave our show at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and I feel like the sun is setting.
Yeah, not far off.
Yeah, we'll only on December 21st. We'll only have 9 hours of sunlight.
Wow.
I've always wanted to get one of those happy lights. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal for people with seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah,
It's,
I think they
UV
give
light.
them out to people at like University of Alaska. I've heard they've given them to like the freshmen and stuff. A happy light, just sit in front of it, get some vitamin D.
I feel like I'd be in a casino though. I don't know if I'd like that. It's pretending like it's sunlight when there's no sunlight.
No, but it might help.
I'm really the expert on this one here because I do watch many survivalist shows about Alaska.
Yeah.
So I know what the dark is like on TV.
But were you born into it?
No, and I've seen, what was that Robin Williams
molded by
movie
it?
where he went out to Alaska and it was the light all the time is also hard.
That movie stinks.
With Al Pacino?
The cast is great. The
Yeah.
movie is god awful.
I don't know if I've ever seen the whole thing. I've seen like
it's
a little
terrible.
bit. Okay. What's it called? It's
I
like
don't know, but it's
Sunlight
so
or something.
bad.
What is that? I'm sorry.
It's a movie where they're in Alaska, and I believe it's annoying because it never gets dark. In that
That's
way.
why when you were just saying this happy light for Alaskans, I'm like, I thought they have more light. And people have
Depends.
insomnia, right?
It's called. This is the movie is called Insomnia. It's
Oh,
Al
yeah.
Pacino is a
I think I saw it.
detective who comes up from L.A.
Yeah,
to
I
solve
did
the
see
murder,
this.
a murder of somebody.
And Robin Williams is in it, right?
Robin Williams.
Yes.
Spoilers
Is
from
it Hilary
2002.
Swank in
He's-
that bad boy?
He's the bad guy, and
Is there a woman star in it too, I believe?
it's not Hilary Swank.
Yeah,
it is Hilary Swank.
Wow,
I'm sorry,
look
you're
at
right.
you.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
So it's all light, and Al Pacino is not sleeping yet. He's trying to solve a murder, and Robin Williams starts messing with his head.
I think we could do a movie like this with Maggie because I think the sunlight and lack of sunlight really affects you.
No kidding.
You said a really bad
Macarena.
IMDb 7.2 out of 10. You would rate it lower than that.
Oh, it's a 2.7.
Oh, I think Mamet. Didn't David Mamet write it too? I believe this is like
Did
high.
you say
It's,
you didn't see this movie? Did I just hear you say that? Never saw it? You know Hilary Swank was in it?
So-
You know the writer?
I grew up in an era where every movie was on cable, so you just watch half the movie and
right.
just get enough of it.
I love
name
you
did you
grew
just
up in
drop?
an era. It's from 2002.
Yeah. Which name did you drop for
David Mamet, but I actually
Not
still have
listed
cable. What?
not listed under.
No, it's
writers.
Christopher Nolan.
Well, he's
director.
the
Christopher
director.
Nolan. Yeah, I knew it was some huge. Like,
Well,
Christopher
director,
Nolan's the
yeah.
best.
Okay, director.
Not in this stinker.
This is sort of a prequel to The Dark Knight.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. If he had made it about how it's always dark, he could have called it Dark Knight.
Nothing was helping this movie. You had Robin Williams with Al Pacino and it stunk, and Hilary Swank. It was terrible. Anyway, that's where we got to leave it. We have lots more to do, including we're going to learn something really big about a Super Bowl contender this weekend. We'll tell you what next.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
We stayed up late, we rode every wave.
Down in Music City, there's a man named Jay. He's tuned in to Maggie and Perloff every single day. Life's been a battle, he's been losing for years, but now his motto's clear: no more losing tears. He's been down, he's been low, but now he's ready for a brand new show. Jay's got questions, can't let it slide. Who's running the YouTube on the Infinity side? Jay in Nashville calling out the crew. Who's behind the curtain? He demands the truth. Peter Bummelani's ghosting, no work in sight, but Jay's got the Maggie and Perloff show to make it right. Make it right. Been a loser so long, my losing's all gone. Tapped out my bad luck, it's time to move on. From his couch in Nashville, he's solving the case. Infinity's mystery, he's all over the place. He's got theories, he's got plans. Is it Moose or Perloff behind the cams? And Bellotti, forget it, he's MIA. Jay's the one who's showing up today. Jay in Nashville calling out the crew. Who's behind the curtain? He demands the truth. Peter Bummelani's ghosting, no work in sight, but Jay's got the Maggie and Perloff show to make it right. Make it right. Jay's turning his luck, rising up the ranks. Infinity answers, he's storming the banks. Bellotti might miss it, but Jay's always there, with a sharp-eye question and a comfy chair. Jay in Nashville calling out the crew. Who's behind the curtain? He demands the truth. Peter Bummelani's ghosting, no work in sight, but Jay's got the Maggie and Perloff show to make it right. Jay in Nashville, he's taking the stage. From loser to legend, he's turning the page. Infinity's mystery, Bellotti's no show. Jay's the real MVP of the Maggie and Perloff show. Make it right.
2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Top of the hour, we will go preview every NFL game this weekend in 60 seconds or less. We call it NFL Preview in 60, which is an inspired title. It's exactly in the name. Meanwhile, though, Pearl, let's stop for a second on the Patriots because this, obviously as the resident Bills fan around here, this is a massive one for Buffalo if they have any even outside shot of still winning the AFC East, although I'm not really holding my hopes up for that. Mm-hmm. But we keep talking about this with New England. You, I think, are holding back from really giving them true contender status because you haven't seen them really beat a great team. Now, beating Buffalo in Buffalo is no easy feat, but did it actually prove that they are legit?
Well, me and everybody, I think, because they're underdogs at home against Buffalo.
Slight.
1.5 points. But, I mean, come on, at home. I think they're low down on the Super Bowl odds, and I think there's a reason and I'm going to go me and the betting public are down on the Patriots because we don't know what this means, beating this schedule. It just is very confusing. Generally, I think teams who've done this in the past, beating an easy schedule, it's usually not a path to the Super Bowl.
Right, but, it's possible that they still could have the number one seed. They could have home field advantage throughout. They have a defense that hits really hard. I mean, I just don't see – I'm giving them plenty of respect. And I thought that the game where they went and beat Tampa on the road actually was a good win. I know Tampa's coming off a loss last night that was so embarrassing for them, blowing a 2-score lead at home. But I don't know. There have been moments, and I thought that the Patriots, they're yes – are they getting by a little bit? But, so are the Bears, and so are other teams who are pulling out these last-second wins.
That's the other team no one believes in.
Yeah, but you have to wonder if they get a home game in the playoffs, that could give them a serious advantage. Plus, I think with the Patriots, you have to think about what's the expectation. If they don't go to the AFC Championship game of the Super Bowl, no one's going to say this is a failure of a season. Meanwhile, Buffalo, they haven't played like a Super Bowl team, in my opinion. But people will say it's a failure if they don't advance to a minimum AFC Championship game.
Well, the whole picture is absolutely different because it looks like the Chiefs will not be there. So now, New England.
And the Ravens.
I saw New England when the Chiefs went. Well, the Ravens have a good chance. The Ravens control their own destiny. If they win out, that's way better than the Chiefs. They're what, 40-something%?
Yeah, but the Ravens have lost the last 2 games at home, one to the Bengals, one to the Steelers. Do they look like a dangerous team to you?
No, but do the Steelers look like a dangerous team? So they might sneak in. Anyway, but you're right. They don't seem like a threat. But the Chiefs being out is the real game changer because that all of a sudden Buffalo becomes a real factor because we're just so used to Buffalo losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Now that's not going to happen. Honestly, I have much more faith in your Bills team than I do in the Patriots. I know that they lost earlier, but Josh Allen's running ability, and Drake May can run too, but I think Josh Allen's running ability in a slow, weathery playoff game gives the Bills an advantage. I think this is the year. There's a lot of reasons to be excited. And I know the team that you're scared of. I know very well.
Houston.
You've been talking about them nonstop.
No. Richie's in Queens. Richie getting set for a big NFL weekend. Richie, you there? No? All right. Richie back on hold.
But let me ask you one more question about this Bills-Patriots.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the Bills win this game, how do you think the national narrative changes about the AFC?
Oh, now it's going to be Bills or bust.
Bills or
You want to know why? Because here's the thing that people don't get right, I think, sometimes about Buffalo. They look at Josh Allen and they think, and I think rightly so, he's the best weapon that would exist for any team in the AFC in the postseason.
What about Lamar?
Lamar's not playing well this year.
Yeah,
and he's been hurt.
This year. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this year. He's not playing well, and he's hurt. So I think he's still dealing with injuries, even though he says he's not. I think that because Josh is such a weapon, people mistake that for the Bills are a great team or the Bills will somehow find a way. And I just think that sometimes gets really overblown because, football's the ultimate team sport, yet Josh is like the great equalizer. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. It hasn't been true.
I mean, the history of the NFL says mobile quarterbacks in the playoffs are just a different thing because you game plan for that specific thing. The fact that 2 weeks, who they played last week in the
Bengals,
that the Bengals weren't spying Josh Allen was utterly insane.
And to be honest, that game actually just changed on the 2 interceptions that Burrow picked.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, the 2 scrambles were
and the
also
2 scrambles from Josh, a 40-yard touchdown, and then obviously the scramble to seal it. Okay, 888-710-4ISN. Every game, 60 seconds or less.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Snap to Cousins. Tampa brings the pressure. The throwing for the end zone. It's Pitts. Did he hold on through? Did he? Give me a signal, fellas. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Wow, what a game last night. Brutal if you're Tampa Bay. They had a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. They end up losing to the Falcons 29-28. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray and Andrew Perloff. They actually won it on a walk-off field goal by Zane Gonzalez, but they kept scoring touchdowns and missing the 2-point conversion, the Falcons. So they actually could have tied this thing, but instead they were trailing in those final moments. Baker Mayfield threw a bad interception in the fourth quarter that helped out the Falcons' cause as well.
You know, that clip you played of the Kyle Pitts touchdown when he juggled it and caught it barely in bounds. AI can do a lot of things. Yeah. AI cannot tell us what is a catch because there was, I guess, one cheek down, but the timing of when he was at, it was crazy to figure out if that's a catch or not.
Oh, and if I'm a Ravens fan, not to bring up old stuff, but I'm like, that's a touchdown,
that's a
and that was the move, but Isaiah Likely's touchdown didn't count last week. Get the heck out of here. But anyway, we all move on. Last night, it took some pretty heroic stuff from Kirk Cousins. He converted a 4th and 14 on the final drive. And listen, I get it. You know, Todd Bowles after this game is completely crashing out, as the kids say, because he's a normally stoic guy. But this one was unforgivable. You know, yeah, you can blame the coach all you want, but I don't think that the players thought there was a threat here. First of all, Atlanta had gotten eliminated from postseason contention last week. And in the first half, they find themselves in like a dogfight of a game. And I think once the Bucs took the lead with a touchdown at the beginning of the fourth quarter, took the 2-score lead, I think that maybe the Bucs thought we have this thing. And you know what? They should have. Because Atlanta had 19 penalties they committed last night. They could not get the 2-point conversions, as I was talking about. Atlanta was burying themselves, and the Bucs gave them life.
Do you remember when Kirk Cousins did this to the Eagles last year, early in the season? They were dead in the water. Then all of a sudden, he just caught fire in the last 2 minutes. He throws that one out that was a key play very, very well. He seems to know when to throw it flat, when to throw it high. He's Kirk Cousins. I mean, all he does, you're like, yeah, I know he puts up a lot of yards and touchdowns, but what else does he do?
Well, I mean, he had to convert a 4th and 14. It's not like Cousins was out there dictating the terms of this game. He was not.
If both teams didn't have 16 fumbles and 130 penalties, it would have looked better.
So meanwhile, NFC South's up for grabs. Could be the Bucs, could be the Panthers. They're going to play each other twice in the last 3 weeks of the season. If I'm a Falcons fan, though, or if I'm a fantasy owner, well, not the fantasy owner, that's fine. But the Kyle Pitts thing, in some ways, kind of ticks me off a little bit. Like, so it's in there somewhere.
Oh,
6 catches, 11 catches, 166 yards. It's in there.
You can't blame Kyle Pitts, though. This is a team that had Arthur Smith running the offense.
Yeah, but he's been gone for 2 years. Like, they've gone through
Pitts
multiple
has been better.
coaches.
He's been a little better.
But, like, this is all-time stuff last night. 11, 166, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was having a career night. And I'm not saying every game's going to be like that, but it's almost like the Steelers last week. They come out throwing the ball, right? DK Metcalf, and they're all going down the field. It's like, all right, so you're telling me you are capable of doing this. You're just choosing not to or not able to be consistent. Like, it almost makes me more agitated if I'm a Falcon fan.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Drake London was out last night, and Kyle Pitts had all his production lining up as a wide receiver. I mean, he wasn't.
London's been out for 4 games.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They didn't line Pitts up at a tight end really much at all last night. So I guess you could call him tight end. You're right. It's in there, but that's schematic. Tight ends, or whatever you want to call them, are so much about scheme. Certain coaches use them, certain coaches don't. I'm putting that more on the Falcons than on him. Because you're right, it's in there. If you don't throw it to him, what's he supposed to do?
Listen, as long as Falcons fans are probably most likely Georgia Bulldogs fans, so at least you got Georgia in the college football playoff. Because I don't know how much you really take from last night. Maybe Raheem Morris saves his job, but you've already been eliminated from the playoffs. And then for the Bucs, I mean, this was definitely, Todd Bowles. Ray, can I hear the Todd Bowles cut one? It's Todd Bowles challenging his team. And either this is going to go great for Todd Bowles and they're going to respond and they're going to beat the Panthers twice and make the playoffs, Pearl, or they're going to fall apart and Todd Bowles is likely going to get fired. Don't forget, last week they lost to Tyler Shuck at home and the Saints in a rainstorm, and now they just lost to the Falcons. Here's Bowles not handling it well.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You got to care enough where the hurts. You got to care enough where the hurts. It got to mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
Got it.
Not happy.
No. Getting that message loud and clear, Coach. So here's some numbers behind it. I know you guys call me nerdy when I do this, but the Bucs now have a 53% chance to make the postseason according to the Athletics Playoff Simulator. If they lose to the Panthers next week, it goes down to 24%. But if they split with the Panthers, because that one's on the road, if they split with the Panthers, it's at 39%.
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning.
You do the math on that one.
Add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
I got something you won't like, Maggie. Guess who's going on a preemptive victory tour? Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper is out there talking about the success of his team. I mean, the NFC South is ridiculous. Almost like, college football, everyone's mad about the alignment. Realign this thing so some other teams, I mean, there's going to be a really good team in both conferences. It's not, the Cowboys might finish 10-6-1 and not make the playoffs. And meanwhile, the Bucs and Panthers, whatever. I digress.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just blame the system there. Let's get to the NFL in 60. All right, guys, let's do it. Every game that will be played on Sunday, we break it down for you in 60 seconds or less. Producer EJ Stewart, what do you got?
This could be one of the coldest games in Soldier Field history. Brown traveled to Chicago to face the Bears. Sub-negative wind chills for this one.
Let me take this one because it's weather. It's my sweet spot here. It is possibly the coldest game in Soldier Field. And this they've been playing there since, I believe, Ray, fact check this, 1914. No, it's been a long time, and it's known. This is going to be ridiculous. You mentioned earlier that Josh Allen is the ultimate weapon. Caleb Williams is a guy who can be a weapon, too. This is where his legs come into a major factor, and I kind of feel bad because the Shedeur Sanders ride is going to have to pause for a week. There's just no way you're going to let him drop back and throw a lot in this weather.
Yeah, man, Shedeur. He'd be like if he doesn't come out of this thing like in a body bag as a frozen popsicle. But he's played in weather before. Colorado had some tough weather, not this cold.
Colorado wasn't that cold. I mean, the season ends before Thanksgiving there.
So here's my biggest thing for why I think the Bears are going to win this game is just the run game for the Bears has been the special sauce.
Yeah.
This is the Ben Johnson. This is why Kyle Monungai is now a household name, and obviously DeAndre Swift. So yes, along with Caleb's legs, obviously this has got to be a big ground game. And you saw last week how the Cleveland Browns defense, the ferocious Cleveland Browns defense that's been left to wither and die because the offense sucks so much, they really gave up a lot of yards at the end of the game, losing to the Tennessee Titans. They can't be trusted right now. The over-under in this game is 38.5. I'm still taking the under.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go to Cincinnati, where this will also be another cold one. -1 wind chill set for this one. Ravens against the Bengals. Maybe that was the reason Joe Burrow's so sad. He's got playing this cold weather.
And the Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. I'm really curious because the Ravens have not been impressive at all. That Isaiah Likely catch and getting hosed out of the touchdown aside, they've lost 2 straight games at home. The Ravens did. 2 division rivals. These were games they absolutely needed to try to put some distance between themselves and the Steelers, and obviously couldn't do it. You know, I'm curious to see, Pearl, how the Bengals respond to Joe Burrow's cryptic comments this week about how he's not enjoying his time playing football.
I was bummed that the Bengals lost to the Bills because it would have been fun to see them in a 3-team race for the AFC North. They would have actually been really in the mix, even though they're 4-9 now. The total on this game is huge, Maggie. It's 51.5 despite the cold because both defenses are not good. And here's the thing. Baltimore could be good, but how many plays, especially if it's cold out, is Kyle Hamilton before he goes to the sideline? Their one great defensive player keeps getting hurt in every game, and it's annoying me. I love watching.
Let's head to balmy KC, where it'll be a warm 17 degrees when the Chargers travel to face the Chiefs.
All right. Tell me if I'm crazy. I think the Chiefs are going to kill them in this game, which is funny because the Chiefs they're 6-7. They're basically out of it. The Chargers are coming off an emotional win at home over the Eagles. Short week. I think the Chiefs, at some point, are going to say, we are way too good not to be in the playoffs, and it might be a prove-it game. Of course, I could be wrong. They might have given up on the season, but I think this is going to be, I think there'll be a little fire under KC for this one.
There should be. I
mean, there
KC,
definitely should be.
Come on. Here's the thing. I think that the entire Jim Harbaugh era of Charger football is all about Kansas City and all about beating Kansas City. They did it in the first game of the season in Brazil. Now we'll see what happens when they actually get them here at Arrowhead. And I think all of whatever Jim did versus the Eagles, it's going to be like 20-fold against the Chiefs. The problem is Herbert's hand. It's a factor. It has to be a factor with the broken hand. But I think Harbaugh is telling him this is the game. So I'm expecting an upset.
One of the big ones to watch this weekend in the AFC East, Maggie's Bills travel to Foxborough to face the 11-2 Patriots.
Yeah, it's a big moment here for my Bills. Are you going to stand up and are you going to show that you still are the class of the AFC East? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to let the Patriots come in and take the mantle from you? And listen, the Bills showed a lot of moxie last week, winning that game against the Bengals when they were down. But the problem with Buffalo is their first halves have been so abysmal. And Mike Vrabel's a good coach. They can run the ball. They hit hard. Drake May is a weapon. You can't afford to mess around in the first half like they have been and think you're going to automatically come back in this game. So I actually am not predicting victory here for my Bills. I think the playoffs is going to be a wild card situation for them, and they're going to have to go on the road if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
Maggie, it's a shame to watch you play checkers when I'm going to offer you some chess here. Lose this game. You're gifted in the playoffs because your schedule's a joke. You got Cleveland and the Jets coming up. You're not going to beat the Bills 3 times if you're the Patriots. It almost guarantees. It will never, ever happen. You can't beat a team 3 times in the same year. They lose this game, they're guaranteed to beat New England in the playoffs. You ever think about that?
I don't. Because the flip side, let's say they do beat the Bills 3 times. How do the Bills even face themselves in the mirror if that happens?
What gives you a better chance of winning in the playoffs? Honestly, these teams are kind of evenly matched. So I'm half joking, but I'm half not joking. I don't think this game means what you're saying it means. I don't think it means much because come playoff time, all that goes away. And the real question is who's healthy. And we were talking about in the break, Christian Benford, the cornerback, stubbed his toe or something. I don't even know what. He was in a walking boot in the locker room yesterday because of an injury in practice. That's a huge deal. Feels like this Bills defense is kind of holding on for dear life, health-wise, like every year. And by the way, I said it always feels like it's underrated. They're a little bit Chargery in that sense.
Let's head to MetLife Stadium, where combined 21 losses will be taking the field when the 3-10 Commanders take on the 2-11 Giants.
I was going to say, let's not head to MetLife Field for this one. This is going to cause some viewing problems for Perloff because it's going to knock off whatever, because you're on DirecTV, or I'm sorry, Sunday Ticket trying to watch this. I really don't have any thoughts on this one. I am scouting both teams because the Eagles play both these teams to end the season, need to beat them. I don't even know. Are you playing for a draft spot? What are you doing here?
Yeah, this is all about draft.
But you have
spots.
You both have quarterbacks. So why are you tanking?
You still want high picks. I mean, I don't know if anyone's tanking here. I think they're just bad. So I don't know. Tanking involves like there's some thought being put into this.
Yeah. Grant Williams is somewhat hired by somebody.
Yeah, to do a cover 0 against the Raiders. EJ, I'll never forget where I was when I watched that. But no, this one.
That was my guy Darren Waller, 200 yards in that game.
This is like, just can Jackson Dart avoid a hospital visit?
Yeah,
that's where your bar.
That's where your bar is.
Evergreen question.
Fair.
Wow. On that note, let's go to Philly, where the Raiders will be taking on Perloff's Eagles in a big slide down the stretch here.
Ditto Kenny Pickett, by the way. Just want to leave here.
Kenny Pickett, actually, we're talking about Philadelphia players, South Jersey players. Okay, so there's a chance of actual snow for this one. And the Eagles had a 6 snow game last year. I'm praying that it'll be snow because that means Saquon Barkley's going to run for 1,000 yards. This is inexcusable. If they lose this game, then it's not just a free fall, it's a total collapse because the Raiders, a West Coast team coming to a 1 o'clock game at the Link in bad weather, and Kenny Pickett a quarterback. Can you imagine? All right, just play this game. What if the Eagles lost this game? What would happen to Philadelphia radio? Would it just explode spontaneously?
I mean, you'd have to fire people. I'm serious. I guess
not the radio people. You mean the team?
No, I meant the players. No, and the coaches.
The radio people get a raise because it'd be so interesting.
So here's my thing about this. This is going to be, I think everyone believes, a dominant Philly win. Are we going to come out of this game though with more BS? Like, can you just win a game and have it be galvanizing, or does it always have to be tinged with something else? Like, but A.J. Brown didn't get enough targets, but this time Saquon Barkley didn't run for more than 3 yards a carry. Like, can the Eagles actually win a game and have it be a positive thing?
Probably not this year.
Too much to ask.
No. I told you my plan. I'm on the San Francisco Giants in the early 2010s. We're going to win it every other year.
The Red Hot Jaguars host the New York Jets this Sunday. This is the one I'm jealous about. 72 degrees in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, this is important for Jacksonville not to let their foot off the gas here because up until last week, the Jets were actually live in a lot of these games and they had won a few. But for Jacksonville, really have to avoid not slipping up here. Trevor Lawrence has been playing really well. The defense has been super opportunistic, Pearl. It looks like Lawrence and Jacoby Myers have been playing together for years. Meanwhile, he was a trade deadline acquisition. This is just for Jacksonville. Don't allow a mental lapse because Houston is coming. They are awesome, and they have an easy opponent this week, too.
Yeah, it's funny. I heard a good line on a podcast. If you ask the average, even educated NFL fan, what is the Jaguars' record, would people know they're actually 9-4? It is the quietest 9-4, and they're 2-touchdown favorites here. So if they go to 10-4, it's still going to be quiet. Nobody trusts this team. We're talking about the Patriots trust. Nobody trusts the Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence is underrated, which is weird. I think the drops early in the season have been sort of tanking his numbers. He is hot and cold. No excuse to not win this game and win it easily.
I had to double check to make sure this wasn't a bye for the Texans, but word is out that the Cardinals will indeed show up in Houston for this game on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
I saw Jacoby Brissett, the Cardinals quarterback, just turned 33. He's awesome because he's really funny in that backup quarterback commercial, and I almost feel bad for him to be caught in this train wreck. To me, I agree with you, Maggie. I think the Texans are now a team to watch. You were on it early. The Cardinals, are they playing for Jonathan Gannon's job as head coach, or is it even possibly too late? Because they lately have not looked really into it. It's really a dangerous spot for the coach.
Yeah, they've lost 10 of their last 11. I mean, it is bad. But my question is, where's Kyler Murray going to play next year when you're talking about the Cardinals side of things, and who do they get in as a new QB? This is the one thing about the Texans. They go up on you, it feels like, by 1 point. 1 point, 3 points, 7 points, doesn't matter. They're putting you away. If you let them get a lead, it is really hard to come back on them.
We get to the 4 o'clock window here in a barn burner in Denver. Packers travel to face the Broncos.
I'm curious about this one. I really am, because obviously it's two really great defenses, and Jordan Love, though, is playing outrageous. He's playing awesome. Like, he put Detroit on skates on the Thanksgiving game, and I thought he was excellent against the Bears, Pearl. And that was a really fun, entertaining game with the NFL's oldest rivalry last week. So you have Jordan Love, who's playing great, and you have Bo Nix, who's always an adventure. the defenses are so steady. It's like if Bo Nix can win this game, I think it's going to go a long way into people thinking that the Broncos could actually be Super Bowl contenders.
But this is actually really not a critical game. I hate to say that because it's not a conference matchup. It feels like this is an amazing matchup that doesn't mean this is a big NFL weekend. It's funny, this game is not being talked about as one of the big games. Have you noticed that? Because it's not as meaningful.
For playoff implications, it's not, because both these teams are going to be in. We're just not sure exactly where.
Yeah, and also, too, it feels like it's going to be close because every Broncos game is close.
Calling it the Stafford Bowl. The Lions travel to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Oh, man. It's funny. I saw a headline. This is the win-win bowl because I think both teams won that trade. Matthew Stafford obviously got a Super Bowl for the Rams, and the Lions have rebuilt this thing. I'm really feeling the Lions, Maggie. Not saying they're going to win. I love this story. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs is my favorite player in the NFL right now. I think the rest of the world caught up on him. So this is big. They're in real trouble if they lose this game, which makes sense in LA.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to get some desperation factor for the Lions. I hope that doesn't force Dan Campbell to make some crazy decisions, but that's where we are with Detroit.
Force. Like, he's serving up crazy decisions. Just
He kicked a field goal on 4th and 8 a couple weeks ago. I was proud.
4th and 18. Rams are 6-point favorites in this game. Aren't they begging you to take the points? Because look at what the Lions are dealing with, right? Today, if the playoffs started, they'd be on the outside looking in, despite the fact that they beat Dallas last week. The Bears are playing in sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings have a tough... Well, Minnesota's out. The Bears are playing in sub-zero temperatures, and Green Bay has this weird game in Denver. Like, this is a possibility here if somehow Jahmyr Gibbs can get going, and that's obviously the common refrain. But they pull off an upset here in L.A., and I think you got a little something going here.
Yeah, I mean, Andrews, Brian Branch, done for the year.
Yeah,
that's just an absolute killer. It's been the same old story for Detroit.
A golden opportunity for the Carolina Panthers to take sole possession of first place in the NFC South. They travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints.
You want to guess the spread on this one?
Let's see. Carolina by 3.5.
2.5. Tyler Shuck. You did it. No, obviously now after last night's result, Pearl, where the Bucs get upset at home by the Atlanta Falcons, this is amazing for Carolina. Like, they've got life now. They're half game up in the division, and they still have 2 games to play with the Bucs. But if you lose this one, then it's like you missed a golden opportunity here, in my opinion. So I kind of love this for Carolina. I think they're going to win this one.
I mean, they should. Yeah, you don't know because there's no tanking really going on for New Orleans. Kellen Moore, I think, as a first-year coach, wants to win games, and they seem to be into Tyler Shuck, especially with kind of a weak quarterback draft. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a dangerous, weird NFC South game. Don't you feel nervous predicting any NFC South game after last night, Maggie?
Yeah, no, I don't. And I don't bet on those games because, like, I like my money. But, yeah, you're right. Right now, New Orleans is picking 5th. But, you know, Tyler Shuck, didn't Mark Schlereth say that he's the best quarterback of the class? Better than Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Better than Shador? Better?
And, good buddy Quincy Avery, quarterback coach, friend of the show, is really saying Shuck's playing really well. Like, well enough to stick in the NFL.
Let's travel to San Francisco, where I was told this also won't be a bye for the 49ers. The Titans will travel to face those Niners.
Okay, the Niners say they're not looking past this game because the Titans are obviously been the worst team in the NFL. If you know, it's a 4-25 game. There's a lot else going on. If you get to tune in this game, dude, just to see Cam Ward fling it downfield recklessly and to just be like, I got nothing else to do. They are playing without a care in the world in Tennessee. Interim coach, why not? I don't think it's a dangerous game for the Niners. I think, once again, they're another team whose schedule is giving them a very, very deceiving 9-4 record.
Yeah, I mean, did you need the bye week to come off? This is an extra time to prepare. Well, Titans are coming off a win. Here's the one thing I'm looking at in this game. 49ers, a healthy 12.5-point favorite in this contest. Do you need to run McCaffrey 30 times? Like, if to me, that will signal a huge red flag here if McCaffrey has this ridiculous workload, and I think the fan base will be ticked off by that.
This is the one we all want to see. Will Phillip Rivers take the field when the Colts travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks?
He better. I mean, this is one of the biggest games, not only of the year, but of the decade. To see Phil Rivers go out there. Memories of Baker Mayfield learning the playbook on the plane and winning a game.
He
Jeff
was 10
Saturday.
years younger.
Jeff Saturday coming out of the television studio and winning a game. It would be, don't kill my 30 for 30, Maggie. Let's go. Middle-aged men revolt take out you youngsters. I mean, Seattle's a bit of a problem. I will give you that.
This is going to be tough. I can't believe you guys want to watch this. It's like wanting to see a car crash. How dare you? Shame on everybody. You want to go out and see Phillip Rivers. What a national treasure in Phillip Rivers, and probably responsible for half the population. I mean, and you want to see him get hurt. How dare you?
You call it a car crash. It's like a Chevy Bolt running into a Mack truck. He's going to be fine. He probably
there?
He probably outweighs DeMarcus Lawrence right now. I'm dead honest.
Yeah, because he's been assistant coach.
Yeah.
For a high school team. I'm sorry, he might be head coach.
And finally, Dak Prescott says he's got to win every game down the stretch here. Well, they begin with the Vikings traveling to Dallas on Sunday Night Football.
You know, I've been tracking the Cowboys schedule for a long time, and I had this as a surefire W until last week when all of a sudden J.J. McCarthy got a pocket and looked comfortable in it. Cowboys better win this darn game. They're really good at home. That is one thing. Say what you want about them. They're 4-1-1 at home. This is a absolute must win. Even if the playoffs can't happen, Maggie, they got to show up in this game.
To be honest, this is where the Cowboys' new revamped run defense really has to show what they can do. Because if you stop the run game and you put the game in J.J. McCarthy's hands, I like my chances if I'm the Cowboys. So.
Obviously, we're both watching Pickens closely after last week's implosion. Will he bounce back?
Yeah, and it looks like CeeDee Lamb is trending in the right direction to play after he was concussed in the game against Detroit.
Let's not forget, I think it was EJ threw it out there. Is this the future team of Joe Burrow next year?
Minnesota?
What's Minnesota doing at
quarterback?
quarterback?
Did that.
Or was it Kirk Cousins? Or is it Mac Jones, who's, this is going to be fun to watch J.J. McCarthy. That's going to be the offseason story of what are the Vikings doing at quarterback. Wait, we're not doing Monday night?
We never do Monday night on the
We never do Monday night on the preview show.
Because we do Monday night on Monday.
That's a good one, though. Dolphins and Steelers. This is a great NFL weekend.
Dolphins and Steelers, though, if TJ Watt can't play because of the lung situation.
Right, but it's cold out, and it's Tua.
Sign up Perloff. Cold out and Tua. That's all you need.
I mean, after last night, there was nothing that should have been watchable about last night's game, and it turned into something interesting. So you never know. This could be the games we think are going to be good this weekend could be awful. Your Bills, Patriots could be just a dud. Could be 19-16 or something, and then we'll get some random game like the Titans-Niners will be a thriller. It's that time of year.
888-710-4ISN. Maggie and Perloff show coming up. We have more details for you on what is going on with Michigan. Sharon Moore, the ex-head coach, now expected to be arraigned in court today. It's M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Saying I'm the reason that the street. Daly's talking, running his mouth, saying I'm the reason that the streams go south. Job is crashing, lions gone dark, shipping more stock like an old drunk car. 8-night vibes, hitting up the show. Maggie and Perloff dropping takes that glow. In the chat, Stunner Filmo runs the scene, spitting fire so hot it makes the snow seem mean. Down in Louisiana, Uncle Sam's lit. Rare snow on the ground, but he don't give a shit. Snow in the South, man, what the fuck's this? While Bilatti's ghosting work, he's always dismissed. Sitting in my room, scrolling through the tube, watching Maggie and Perloff, getting in the groove. Found a viewer in the chat, his name's Dalton, I'm Brian. Spitting fire comments, he's the #1 fan. Got his fingers moving, typing non-stop. Dropped with all the knowledge, never gonna flop. Dalton, I'm Brian, he's the king of the chat. With his love for the show, there ain't no doubt.
life in 20-second views. Scrolling through, he's got no time to lose. Maggie and Perloff, Daily's keeping score. YouTube's his love. He's begging for more. Double tap, clicking on that video. From sunrise to sunset, he never lets it go. Maggie snappy, Perloff's got a glow. Daily's hooked, he's looking for the show. Chasing trends, Daily's on a quest. Comments pouring in, he's one of the best. From every corner of the internet's reach. Daily's voice. Pine Needles wakes up at dawn. Coffee brewing, screen turned on. He's got a favorite show to see. The Maggie and Perloff Symphony. Oh, Pine Needles are tuned in tight to infinity. Sports radio every night. Maggie and Perloff, your daily delight. In their words you find your life. From highlights to the breaking news, every take you can't refuse. In the chat, he's always there with comments, questions, wisdom to share. Oh, Pine Needles, you're tuned in tight to infinity. Sports radio every night. Maggie and Perloff, your daily delight. In their words, you find your life. When the games get tough and the stakes are high, Pine Needles knows where to rely on the voices that break it down. Maggie and Perloff never let him down. He's got a playlist all saved up, from epic wins to the close-up. Loyal viewer through and through. Pine Needles, this song's for you. Oh, Pine Needles,
15 seconds.
tight to infinity. Sports radio every night. Maggie and
Break
Perloff,
ends,
your daily
5
delight.
seconds.
In their words you find your life. So here's to the fan, always engaged with every comment every day.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Oh my God, we're so stoked for a good football weekend. And what's the latest? I hear there's snow heading to the East Coast. I know the Midwest is going to have cold too.
Yeah.
This is classic late season football, and it's going to be kind of awesome. Hopefully, I'm hoping for snow because I don't have to be out there in it. I don't have to drive to the stadium. And I love watching snow football more than anything, really.
Okay, but tell me if this is true. I hate snow games when my team's involved because
I
you know
love them.
something stupid's going to happen. A fumble, something weird.
You won
Someone's
one last week.
I know, and it came out to be in their favor, but it wasn't in their favor for most of the game.
But then there are those snow games where the defenders cannot get any footing, and you see a running back go for 250 yards. The Eagles have had a bunch of them. I think LaShawn McCoy topped 200 in the snow once. Saquon's had big snow games. When the offense is feeling it and the defense can't do anything, that's the most fun. And to see guys skate, it's great.
Curtis Martin had a great snow game.
Did he really?
Yeah. CeeLo may remember that one. When Curtis Martin went crazy in the snow. I forgot who they were playing.
Vaguely. Yeah, I don't remember the opponent, but I can envision it. Yeah.
There was a crazy snow game once where when Shady McCoy played for Buffalo.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Playing against the Colts.
Yeah.
It was just Shady versus a linebacker. Like, that was the whole thing. Everyone else was just standing around.
Maybe that's the snow game I was thinking of. Or did he have two of those?
He had one with the Eagles, too.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
right.
I remember
Against
that
the
one.
Lions,
Yeah.
yes.
So looks like snow is just headed towards the Northeast. So that means the Giants game, the Eagles game, and the Patriots. There was already a chance of snow in the area because New England's a whole other.
And then
ball
Chicago, the Chicago game is going to be bad. Remember the Chiefs-Dolphins game that had real health concerns for the fans? I'm not saying the Chicago games are going to get there, but they said -10 real feel. Wrap up there if you're in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, if you have tickets to that game, I don't know. Maybe I'm just
No.
jaded as a sports fan. I've been to a lot of cold games because I'm from a cold place. But
I hope you're judging Maggie Gray right now, America, because that was soft.
You just said you're excited to watch the game because you're going to be on the couch.
Listen, did I leave a little early from the Eagles-Bears Black Friday game because it was too windy and it was chilly? That was 40 degrees, and I felt like every single extremity was going to die of frostbite.
I'm still stuck on Perloff saying wrap up.
I've never heard of that, but that way.
It's bundle up. Like wrap up is more like, you're going out with a lady friend or something is what I think of.
Wrap up's more like a one-night stand.
Yeah. Y'all got it. I had a big debate. Do you look uncool bringing a blanket inside a football game?
Uncool? Sure, but I mean, who cares if you want to stay warm?
Absolutely do it, or absolutely you look uncool?
Yeah, I think that's really only a thing that women can pull off.
I mean,
I had my
guys.
mom.
Wow.
So my mom
inaccurate, though.
forced me to bring she's like, you have to bring this blanket. I left it in the car.
Wait,
Why don't you just put layers and layers?
This is a Black Friday game in Philly.
This year?
Yeah.
Your mother forced you to bring a blanket?
Yeah, I was staying in my parents' house outside of Philly.
Wow.
By the way,
That's uncool.
I
You
left
just
it-
admitted. I'm sorry.
I left it in the car.
Carol's
and
persuasive.
I left it in the
Carol
car
is
and
persuasive. She's
regretted
awesome.
it in a major way. And everyone around me regretted it because we would have shared it. It was
Right.
freezing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, are you really trying to look cool going into the football game
No.
when it gets cold out? Who cares? You want to be warm.
No, listen, this is the key. If anyone is listening and you've never been to a cold weather game, I'm going to tell you what the key is. It's got to be the hand warmers and the feet warmers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
like
it.
skiing,
and
yeah.
obviously a hat.
And layers.
And
You
layers.
gotta wear a hat. Yeah.
Got to wear a hat, got to wear the layers, but it's got to be the mittens with the hand warmers, and you got to have the feet warmers, or else you're going to feel like you're losing toast.
I also think you should never care about looking cool anymore when
No.
you're either A, married, or B, 35 years old.
Agreed.
There's also
Once you get those cutoffs,
yeah.
35, that's young.
Nah, but we're drawing a line at blankets in the football at the stadium. I'm sorry. Bundle up.
Who cares?
Put the
Who are you
ski
trying to
mask
impress?
on.
If you're 34, you're a loser. 35, you're okay.
Can I say, I think you have the wrong key altogether. It's not hand warmers. It's called booze, Maggie.
Oh,
it's
wow.
called ample
That
amounts of
gets
it.
expensive, though. So,
Yeah, well, listen, if you're a dedicated Eagles fan, for example, you know how to sneak the hard stuff into the stadium.
or you've been tailgating for 5 hours
Yeah,
before you even walk into
A
the
little
stadium.
vodka will warm you right up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Then you're shirtless and on national TV.
No, it's the, what's the, not red, the red, the cinnamon stuff.
Fireball?
Fireball.
Yeah.
That
They
goes
have
right
a new
down.
green apple fireball out now as well. If you're a
Have you
green
tasted
apple
it yet?
person. I've not, but I saw some ad.
People do
for it.
peach schnapps a lot for football games in Philly. Always growing up.
Can I tell you something funny? I once was skiing once, and someone on a chairlift once offered me some schnapps.
Yeah, maybe there's something
On
about
the lift? On the
Yeah,
way
and I
up?
was like,
That's
no.
tremendous.
First of all, I'm not mixing alcohol with skiing. Like,
No.
that's a terrible
Yeah.
idea.
Death wish.
No. You're like alcohol skiing. I mean, everyone you got to smoke pot when you.
A
Ski,
lot of
everyone
people
knows
smoke.
that.
I can't imagine people doing that. You could get seriously hurt out there.
A lot of people do.
We got
No,
NFL
thank you.
corners playing drunk, like Quentin Jammer admitted earlier this
that was a
week,
weird
so.
admission.
Yeah. By the way, EJ referenced that Curtis Martin snow game, which I said I vaguely remembered. I looked it up.
You were there.
No, I was not. This was against the Steelers in 2003. I'm just going to read you his stat line from that day. He had 30 carries for 174 yards, plus 4 catches for 54 yards. This is classic Jets. What do you think the score of that game was?
17-13.
6-0 Jets.
There you go.
6-0.
They won, but like he put up all those yards. They rode him all day in the snow, and they could only muster 6 points. That's
I'm
tremendous.
sorry.
Jets
but-
football, baby.
That
Who
is
was
classic
2003?
Jets
Who was the
football.
quarterback?
Chad Pennington.
Oh, Chad.
Yeah,
It was
did
fine.
Did Chad play that game? Or
He
was
did. No, I'm looking at the box score.
Okay, I wasn't
15
sure.
of 25 for 144 yards, no picks, and they were going against immortal Steelers journeyman quarterback Tommy Maddox.
I mean, most boring
XFL
superstar
legend.
in
This
NFL
was
history.
this was 5-8 against 5-8 at the beginning. Of
CeeLo, I forget. Are you a Jets fan growing up?
No,
Oh, you're
Giants fan. And talk about bundling up. My dad, we used to go to, I was actually living in Northern Virginia from like age 4 to 11. So when we'd come up for the holidays to visit family, we'd go to a Giant game in like the teeth of the winter, December at the Meadowlands, like up in the nosebleeds. I was at the
Windy.
snowball game with the
Oh,
Chargers.
wow.
So that was talk about bundling up and putting layers on. Those are my early memories of going to Giant games.
Well, I'm just curious if a Jets fan. Curtis Martin was the most boring superstar the NFL's ever
He
had.
was,
Anyway,
but I mean,
but
you
he was
had to
our
appreciate
guy.
him as a Jet fan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
our guy. Okay.
he averaged 4.0 yards per carry. You said that box score made me think of like, yeah, he had like a million yards, but it was never
Well, that was
spectacular.
a 5.8. He had a 56-yard run in that game in the snow.
Did he really? So
That's
I don't
why I
remember.
remember it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Curtis Martin broke a big one here."
Meanwhile, joke's on all of us. He's like a billionaire.
No way. What did he do after he stopped playing?
He became like this big business guy.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
invested in stuff too.
it's not like Magic Johnson necessarily but not on that level. But I think it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Curtis Martin got real rich.
Hey, good
I
for
had
him.
no idea. Is he in the Hall of Fame? I can't remember.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what else you got?
All right. We've done quite a bit on last night's Falcons over the Bucs game, 29-28. Just because I'm short on time, I want to give you some of this Jamar Chase audio.
Yeah, please do.
The Bengals media decided to interrogate the wide receiver about Joe Burrow's comments from earlier in the week, which I know you guys discussed yesterday.
Yeah, he said
correct?
that baseball. He said that football has not been joyful for him, and having this injury has kind of made him reevaluate his thoughts on football.
Yes. So I just loaded in a few of these kind of on the fly. I know the first one for sure is essentially him just addressing it in general, and kind of an interesting admission from Chase where he wasn't exactly sure where to go at first.
How much do you think Joe Burrow loves football?
I thought this was an AI. I'm not. Did this really happen though? That's real?
Yesterday? Yes. Well, it depends on what you saw.
I don't really know nothing about it at the end of the day.
So he was so unsure of the comments.
Yeah, he's not doing a good sell job there. I don't know.
Maybe they weren't real, but then they were just kind of continually trying to get something out of him as far as what goes on behind the scenes now that Burrow's back from the injury and all that, and from Chase's perspective.
At the end of the day, I see him the same every day. To me, he loves football. You know what I'm saying? But that's a him question. I can't answer that for him.
And there was a lot of that where it's sort of like, I mean, they wanted his perspective, and he's like, well, I can't speak for him, so on and so forth. Like, I want another one here.
I don't know. From what I see the same person every day. You know, he comes to work. He loves work. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he don't look like he's bummed to be here, you know?
But I
Looks the same every day.
And then they said, okay, well, how can you tell if he's happy, essentially? And he didn't really know quite where to go with that one, but he did offer one thing and then kind of put it back on the media a little bit.
Yeah, he smiles every day. Like, the narrative that y'all trying to paint on him right now, I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's the same person every day. He comes to work. He loves work. He loves the guys in the locker room, so he's pretty positive to me.
There's no narratives. We're just asking questions. Just for the mics.
A little bit of narratives. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the narrative. I mean, Joe Burrow offered up, his own press conference that he, is not having fun. I think the bigger thing with Burrow was there's a lot going on right now, and he said that. And he said they said on the field or off the field, and he said both. So something might be happening in his personal life that's clouding this. Kind of, if it's something big, maybe he just needs to get through that, Pearl, and then he'll find his joy for football again, like obviously.
Who knows? Could be a family member is ill, a lot going on there. Though, I was actually not surprised to hear this because I'm sure day-to-day in the locker room, I'll bet you Joe Burrow is still a pro, obviously. And I think that press conference, maybe it didn't mean what we thought it mean. Maybe it's just frustrated because they didn't make the playoffs.
I also think this is a flare sending up to the sky about Zach Taylor.
Maybe.
Or just
I
the
mean,
way
are
they
you so
do
sure,
business
though?
there in Cincinnati with the football team and feeling like, they're wasting years of his prime, Chase's prime, T. Higgins. They have good players in place, but they're not able to put it all together. The defense obviously is an issue.
Definitely. But, it was Burrow who was out there campaigning for T. Higgins and Chase to both get paid.
Yes.
So it's like, and he gets paid a lot. And Joe Burrow's not taking any discounts. So,
I mean, you say that. Are you so sure Joe Burrow wants Zach Taylor? I didn't read it that way. I mean, it could be one of I'm just saying we don't know.
No, but he leaves the door open for that kind of speculation.
Well,
because,
his record leaves the door open too.
Very much true.
Most
But you could also
players
say
get depressed. They hate their coach. They just don't want to say it. I'm questioning my football life. He hates his coach.
And also the Netflix show, it just seemed like Burrow was even frustrated then. Last year they wasted a Burrow healthy season. This year you could say for Zach Taylor, if Burrow's not in the lineup, are you expected to win? They had to trade for Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
They were desperate.
I mean, Joe Burrow's had a lot of success offensively with Zach Taylor. Or even last year, he threw 43 touchdowns with him. I mean, he likes the offense, that's for sure. Although I'm not sure. And personally, can you see those two guys not getting along personally? Like Zach Taylor's kind of mellow, middle of the road. I can't see. I have no idea. Actually, I don't know what the heck Zach Taylor's like. I have no impression of him, but I feel like
very generic.
I know
he's very generic. Yeah.
When he wins, he likes to stop by that bar and get it pats on the back from all the fans.
Yes, he does. As I think we all probably would.
Right?
Would you do that though?
Man? Nice to get a pat on the back.
You show up at a local bar to be like, praise me.
Maybe not.
I'm your hero. Anyway, I thought that was a little weird.
I don't know.
He
it feels
did it a
like
couple
being
times.
part of the community.
Yeah, cool. Do a food drive. Like, you're already going to get a ton of praise when you win. I thought that was kind of strange. Anyway, 888-710-4ISN. CeeLo, thank you very much. Coming up next, we do have some more updates for you on what's going on in Michigan. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Well, that's cool about CBS. Are they hiring? Although,
I mean, he.
Always there with comments, questions, wisdom to share. Oh, Andrew Bogusch had a plan on a sunny afternoon. Grabbed a bat and took the field under the summer moon. He said, Jack, let's show him how the Bogusch boys can play. But little did they know he had whiskey in his sway.
Oh, Andrew Bogusch, swaying side to side with a bottle in his hand. He gave it a good try, swinging at the pitches, stumbling on his feet, drunk on the diamond in the summer heat.
Jack's team was laughing as Dad took his stance, wobbling at the plate in a tipsy baseball dance. The coach was shaking his head, moms were all aghast, but Andrew Bogusch grinned, living in the past.
Oh, Andrew Bogusch, swaying side to side with a bottle in his hand. He gave it a good try, swinging at the pitches, stumbling on his feet, drunk on the diamond in the summer heat. He hit a grounder to the shortstop, tried to make it to first, but he tripped over his own feet. Oh man, it was the worst. Jack was on the mound, his face turning red. Come on, Dad, get up, this game's far from dead. Oh, Andrew Bogusch, swaying side to side with a bottle in his hand. He gave it a good try, swinging at the pitches, stumbling on his feet, drunk on the diamond in the summer heat. He hit a grounder to the shortstop, tried to make it to first, but he tripped over his own feet. Oh man, it was the worst. Jack was on the mound, his face turning red. Come on, Dad, get up, this game's far from dead.
To the shortstop, tried to make it to first, but he tripped over his own feet. Oh man, it was the worst.
Jack was on the mound, his face turning red. Come on, Dad, get up, this game's far from dead. Oh, Andrew Bogusch, swaying side to side with a bottle in his hand. He gave it a good try, swinging at the pitches, stumbling on his feet, drunk on the diamond in the summer heat. So if you see a little league and laughter fills the air, look for Andrew Bogusch, you might find him there. With a grin and a wink, he'll raise a drink on high, playing ball with Jack's team under the summer sky.
Andrew Bogusch had a plan on a sunny afternoon. Grabbed a bat and took the field under the summer moon.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. So Sharon Moore is expected in court today, expected to be arraigned. He's been detained for 2 days now, right? A little over 24 hours. What is it, Friday? This happened on Wednesday. He was fired by Michigan for an inappropriate relationship with one of his secretaries and someone who worked in the office. And it turns out, according to John Bacon, who's written several books about Michigan college football, is very plugged into the Michigan program, that Sharon Moore and whoever he was having the affair with were questioned about a relationship in the summer.
Okay.
Both denied it, said nothing was going on. But as of Wednesday, that changed, and whoever he was having the affair with brought evidence, undisputable evidence, that they were indeed having an affair. So Sharon Moore was fired basically on the spot. And then he allegedly drove to her apartment. That's where there was some kind of situation that happened where perhaps a knife was pulled and where Sharon Moore was threatening to not only harm this person or a person who was in the apartment and then himself, which is why he was being held under mental health professionals around him, which he absolutely should be. You don't want him to harm himself. And this is all just taken such a wild and dark turn. And, you know, it's just like crazy, too, because we're in such a tabloid.
Yeah.
We've always kind of been a tabloid society, and maybe nothing's crazy about that. But have you noticed now they're bringing up Sharon Moore, that he was following OnlyFans models on Instagram, that he went to a Diddy party like in 2016? Can we just keep the main thing here? Like, there's enough in this scandal of just whatever happened, and the fact that one of the most prestigious positions in sports, being the head coach of the University of Michigan football program, is now in complete flux and disarray. Do we have to bring up that he went to some Kentucky Derby party with Diddy? Like, come on.
Well, you already. First of all, I hope everyone comes out of this okay, and there's no violence. But a Diddy party, you lost me there. I want to hear more about this.
Do you see what's happening in the post?
That is all I think about. Okay, so Sharon Moore was at a Diddy party. It was a Kentucky Derby.
Yes,
and it was like a full-fledged Diddy party.
Well, I don't know about a full-fledged. I hope not. I mean, God, but it was like some kind of Kentucky Derby party. And Sharon Moore is the one who put the tweet out, like, "Hey, excited to do this." And now people are drumming that up, like, to show that he's some kind of deviant. It's like, guys, that's not what's going on. Let's just keep the main thing. There's enough here to react to without having to link them to this, that, or the other. You know what I'm saying? Big Friendly is in California. He's got a thought on this story. Good morning, Big Friendly.
Good morning, Mac Ramsey, Daddy Cool, EJ the Bionic EP, Ray, Big Hat Low. Now, Maggie Malone, in my younger days, I have been guilty of infidelity. But now, I would ask you this. Can we put a fictitious situation in your corner and you guys answer this question? And I'd like to see how much you would put the blame on Big Friendly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Maggie, are you the only child?
No, I have an older brother.
Okay. So since you have a brother, we're going to make up a fictitious brother. I don't want to cast aspersions or negative opinions about your family. So we're going to make up a brother. Let's just say his name is Manny. Okay.
Wait a minute. Manny?
No, give us a different
Manny's not here today.
Give us a different name.
Wait, there's a million names you could have picked out there, Big Friendly. You're going to pick Manny, who's on vacation today?
Hey, we never know who's bunny hopping in the pea patch. Okay.
Big Friendly, I need to hear this situation, so lay it on us, buddy. We're running out of time.
Let's say the name is Ted.
Okay, real quick. Okay, Ted. So me and Ted, we become friends due to our work and things we do outside of work. We end up going to arrangements and engagements. During one of these engagements, your brother Ted ends up meeting a young woman. This young woman and Ted become mutually attracted to each other. In one of these arrangements that I go with Ted at, I end up leaving, but at that arrangement, Ted and this young woman do things they shouldn't do. How much is that on Big Friendly?
None.
Because you're kind of blaming some hardball on Shamar Moore, and I understand that hardball was the guy to give him the job.
Yeah.
But outside of work, hardball has no dealings on what this man does. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Big Friendly. It's a personal thing, not a work thing.
Well, but it is a work thing because he was having an affair with someone in his office who he was the boss of, Friendly.
That's very true.
No,
but what I'm saying is, go ahead, Daddy.
Yeah,
Cool.
but he wasn't the boss when this affair allegedly occurred. Go ahead, Big Friendly.
That's just like saying, Maggie Malone, that there's things that go on in our jobs all the time that we know nothing about, that basically, honestly, has none of our business. It just so happens that, yes, hardball happened to be this man's job at one point. They all worked in the same organization at one point. But now that hardball's gone, hardball shouldn't even be brought up.
Friendly, you're killing me with the pronunciation. We're up against the top of the hour. Good to talk with you. What an admission there from Friendly. I got a million questions. Anyway, this is only my point about how it comes back potentially on Jim Harbaugh, is that you may have no idea what people are like when you work with them.
Yeah.
I'll leave room for that. Or do you entrust the job of head coach to the University of Michigan football team to someone who may have displayed questionable decision-making in the past? That would be my question.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right, so Sharon Moore is expected to be in court today. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We'll get to some NFL stuff in just a moment, but just to wrap up the college thing, Pearl, it's really interesting. Obviously, what happens with Sharon Moore is gone to a place that's extremely dark, and we'll see what happens. His time at the University of Michigan is obviously over, but how much is the athletic director, Ward Manuel, also going to be swept up in this scandal? Because this is not his first scandal. And while Michigan athletics is reaching some really high highs, there are admittedly some pretty low lows, including now 3 different coaches who have been fired or had to resign in scandal. It was the basketball coach in Juwan Howard, and then also the hockey coach, the men's hockey coach, also had to be fired for some very unsavory things that he was saying to his team. So you have the sort of yin and yang here with Ward Manuel, the explosion of athletics, the money, but also is he a great judge of character and who should be representing the university? So that all comes into the stew of hiring the next football coach.
How so?
Because is Ward Manuel actually making that decision, or is he going to be fired and now they have to find a new athletic director, and that's going to delay this process even more? Meanwhile, the portal opens on January 2nd. So it's just a lot to unpack here. And our pal Andy Staples was kind of implying on his podcast yesterday that Kalen DeBoer would be interested in listening, but it would have to be after either Alabama wins the national title or they're eliminated from the playoff.
If I ran the school, I would wait a year and slow down and not jump to something, because the time crunch is going to make you make a decision you might not want to make. And that being said, I thought you were saying, are they going to want somebody who's ethically upstanding to come in and fix this? I'm like, well, the problem is they have to hire a college football coach. So I think that's going to be impossible.
It's going to be tough to find someone who does it. Well, I guess the degree of skeletons in the closet maybe comes into play. All right, let's put a pause on that for a second. Let's welcome in Nick Kostos. He is the host of You Better, You Bet, and he joins us every Friday at this time. Nick, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys this morning?
We're doing okay. Better than Todd Bowles. That was a debacle last night, and now the NFC South crown could be in jeopardy. But let's fast forward to this Sunday, and let's start with my Bills in New England. Nick, I know you're not a fan of Sean McDermott. You and I are kind of on the same side of that. How do you bet this game, though, with the Bills as a 1.5-point favorite and the total sitting at 49.5?
I think the side of the game is so incredibly fascinating, right? Excuse me. Where the betting market essentially has it, Maggie, like you just said, as a pick'em. Bills a very short favorite. I think that Buffalo is a deserved favorite in the game, given what they've done over the past however many years. Patriots' strength of schedule, as many people have pointed out, has been brutal this season. Look, you beat the teams that are on your schedule. Also, they haven't beaten anyone basically since the Buffalo Bills, right? When they beat them on Sunday Night Football earlier in the year in Buffalo. And even that win on the road in Tampa, kind of looking worse by the week with the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing. So if you made me pick the winner of the game, and I don't think I'm going to bet the side of the game, I will give you a thought on the total. I actually think I'd bet the Patriots. I don't feel that strongly about it. I don't have a ton of confidence in the Bills' defense. I'd love to know if Christian Benford's playing. I think he's Buffalo's best defensive player, added to the injury report yesterday. Would like confirmation on Joey Bosa, if he's going to play. But my preferred bet on this game is going to be on the total. I like the over. I like over 49.5, where I don't trust this Bills defense at all. And I think this is a game where, obviously Drake May has played. I don't know if he'll win MVP, but he's played at an MVP caliber level, right? I think he's going to throw the ball all over this Bills defense. Like, I expect New England to score in this game. And on the flip side, this Patriots defense, whether it's due to injuries or trades, when they traded Keon White to San Francisco, this defensive front is not what it was when they played Buffalo earlier in the year. And they were really able to bottle up James Cook in the run game, right? So I do think Buffalo will have more success running the ball. And think about what that means and the way Buffalo wants to play this year as opposed to previous years, where they don't want to spread you out with 4 receivers because the receivers aren't very good. They want to get multiple tight ends on the field. They want to run the ball. They want to run play action. They want to get the ball to Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, get it to the tight ends. And I think they're going to be able to do that in this game because of the Patriots' defensive personnel. Remember, Milton Williams on injured reserve. He's not going to play in this game for New England. So I think you're going to see both teams score a bunch in this game. Make me pick a winner, a slight lean for me towards New England. I have bet over 49.5.
All right, if Maggie can ask about her team, I could ask about my team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I know it's a free fall, but there might be weather. The Raiders are coming to town, and Kenny Pickett might be starting quarterback. They can't lose this one, Nick. I know it's a big spread, but how do you bet this game?
You don't think they could lose?
Well, Lane Johnson might play, and that's obviously the entire key to the thing. If he's on the field, then it's a W. But no, they can't lose. No, they can't lose. This is an indoor team coming to 1:00 East Coast. They can't lose, right, guys? Right?
Well, I don't think they will, but I don't, they're really bad right now. There's what else can you say about it? For as bad as Kenny Pickett is, and I don't think he's very good, and I really didn't like how he was basically like a baby last year when the Steelers signed Russell Wilson. It's like he took his ball and went home. I don't want to compete. I'll go be a backup for my childhood team. Okay. He's definitely better than Geno Smith right now, though, right? And I'm not complimenting Kenny Pickett. I'm insulting this version of Geno Smith. Geno's so bad, I actually think you can make the case that Pickett's better and that the Raiders get upgraded as a result of this. Now, the Raiders are obviously terrible, and I think Pete Carroll might be and should be a one and done. But if you're going to bet the Eagles in this game, the bet really has nothing to do with Vegas. It has everything to do with Philly. And can the Eagles score enough points to cover the spread in this game? And I'm going to say something that's a little wacky here. The spread would not be what it is if they were in Vegas, right? Because of home field advantage. So it wouldn't be this big. I bet you that what's the nerdy Harry Potter truth serum, like Verisitarium? If you gave that to Nick Sirianni, I'll bet you that he would say he'd rather play this game in Vegas, that they'd rather play on the road.
Pressure?
Because, dude, seriously, Perloff, you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
The first Jalen Hurts ball that's 3 yards behind Devontae Smith, the crowd's going to be showering them with booze. The crowd's going to turn on them.
There's going to be
crowd's going to be bloodthirsty here.
Fire Sirianni, bench Hurts. It's going to be all that.
So what do I think's most likely to happen? I think I would be pretty shocked if the Eagles, they're so much better in terms of talent than the Raiders. I wouldn't bet the Eagles with your money. Honestly, I'd probably bet Vegas to cover the spread if I had to bet the game because I don't trust Philadelphia right now, even if I do think the Eagles will win.
Nick Kostos, the host of You Better You Bet, joins us every Friday. Okay, I think this is a really interesting game, even though it might not mean a lot. Packers traveling to Denver.
This means a ton.
2.5-point favorite. What I meant is both teams are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It just depends on what seed they're going to be in.
And you know what's so funny about this game, Maggie? You've got the two top teams in the AFC right now in terms of record, New England and Denver, home underdogs right now against teams that the betting market perceives to be better despite the fact that they don't have as good a record, right? So we see that with Buffalo at New England and certainly here with Green Bay at Denver in the Super Bowl 32 rematch that the world has been waiting for. Shout out to John Elway and the Whirly Bird. I've gone back and forth on this game this week, and I think where I've settled this morning is I actually think I'm going to bet Green Bay. I was considering betting Denver. Denver's defense is kind of a different, it's great everywhere, and maybe Vance Joseph gets a head coaching job because of it. Kind of a different animal at home than it is on the road. But I think my handicap of this game comes down to the other side of the ball with Bo Nix and the Broncos offense against the Packers defense, where Denver runs this, I'll call it a gimmicky offense, even though it's not like they're not running the Wildcat on every play. Denver does not run, and there you can spin this either way. You can say it's a good thing because Sean Payton is scheming up around his quarterback that we don't think is as naturally gifted as some others. Or you can look at it as a negative when you can say, like, Denver's not going to win the Super Bowl with an offense like this. With all these screen passes, all these passes behind the line of scrimmage, occasionally you'll get a moment of brilliance from Bo Nix down the field. With how Green Bay tackles defensively, I don't know how the Broncos are sustaining drives in this game on offense. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball unless they get beaten, which is possible, right? Beaten over the top a couple times with Troy Franklin or like Marvin Mims or Cortland Sutton. I think Denver's going to have a tough time scoring in this game. And on the flip side, Patrick Surtain may not be at full health right now, and I think that there are some areas of attack here for Green Bay on the Denver defense. I think I may end up betting the Packers in this game. Green Bay, I think, will win the game on Sunday.
All right, let's get into the game of the week, maybe the game of the month, maybe the game of the year, and I think you know what I'm talking about. For all us older dads who want to get off the couch and play some football, Phillip Rivers, hopefully going out there. First of all, Nick, do you think he's definitely going to play?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And it's 13.5 point spread right now.
And I can tell you right now, just to fully answer that question, I'm going to. I have my BetMGM odds board up here.
Yeah.
And I can tell you if he is. I'll tell you if he's listed in the prop markets. Let's see if he is. Okay. His passing touchdowns is listed. So that doesn't mean he's going to start. But he's going to. I feel pretty confident. I felt like when they signed him that he was going to play.
I heard someone talking about on my old show, the Dan Patrick Show, about Phillip Rivers' prop. There's a prop. Will he score a touchdown on his first drive? Does that interest you at all? I mean, Maggie doesn't think he's going to last physically. Is there any chance we see some of the old magic?
Okay, so this is not like, because I've seen some graphics this week on TV where it's other quarterbacks to come out of retirement, like here's Brett Favre, like here's like Joe Flacco when he won Comeback Player of the Year. That was like Favre retired and then came back like 3 months later. Like Flacco retired during like a term pregnancy. He was out for like 9 months and then he came back and played, right? Like Rivers has been out 5 years. This is actually unprecedented. So I talked to, off air and on air on You Bet or You Bet, like a lot of people that I consider to be really smart when it comes to trying to figure out like what a point spread should be, right? And I don't, no one can answer the question because how the hell are you supposed to price this, right? Now, I think that most people have said that they think the Seahawks are going to railroad them. Like Seattle's just going to destroy them. And how can Rivers basically keep this game close? And I don't know that I have a really strong counter to that. I guess the point spread counter that I would give, and I will have a bet on this game that I'll get to in a second. So Max Brosmer, who obviously was like, it's an undrafted free agent thrown to the Wolves on the road and maybe the best defense in the league a couple weeks ago in Seattle. Max Brosmer and the Vikings closed 13 on the road in Seattle. Like, we are probably going to close 14 or higher when Phillip Rivers is announced as the quarterback. So what the betting market is saying is that on a neutral field, the Max Brosmer-led Minnesota Vikings would beat the Phillip Rivers-led Indianapolis. And I guess my question to people would be, do you believe that's true? Like, is that true, basically? I think that's kind of a fun way to think about this game. So the way that I want to bet it, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody does. We have educated guesses, right? So there's two ways to think about this, right? The way that I want to bet this game is I want to bet the Colts when it goes above 14. And it's going to be a small bet because I want to root for Phillip Rivers. And people say, oh, that's a stupid reason to make a bet. Great, do whatever the hell you want. It's my money. And if and when I win the bet, I want a t-shirt like you get at like an amusement park. Like I survived Space Mountain. Like I survived betting Phillip Rivers and cashed my bet after he was retired. I want my souvenir t-shirt. If you're going to bet this game, you lean into what we call extreme outcomes. Like, why would you bet Seahawks minus 13? Bet them like minus 26.5. Like, get more bang for your buck. Like, bet Colts plus 3.5. If you think Rivers is going to play well, bet the Colts to win the game at a big price. Like I think so many things are possible in this game that I don't know about, like, just betting. Like, if you want to bet a decent amount of money, I'd look to bet an extreme outcome, not the actual spread of the game, because no one knows what the hell's going to happen. So bet something crazy.
Can I tell you another T-shirt that you might have after this game is I watched Phillip Rivers play after he was retired for 5 years, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Like, I think people are expecting something that is very unlikely to happen. Life's not a movie, and I know Phillip Rivers was not Cam Newton when he played, but, like, he hasn't played in 5 years, and I think it's weird people want to see this so much because I feel like you want to see a car crash. Deep down, I think you want to see a car crash. Some people might want to see him succeed, and other people want to see a car crash.
I don't know that I don't care about, I don't need, like, the Colts to win the Super Bowl. Do I want, I'll tell you what I don't want this to be. I don't want this to be when Favre comes back in 2010 and Corey Wooten, like, kills him on the field, and, like, he's obviously still alive, which maybe some people are not thrilled about. And I remember watching that game Monday night in 2010, and, like, and Favre is lying on the field, and I'm thinking, like, is he dead? Like, did he actually just die? Did this actually just happen? Like, does anyone want to see, like, Byron Murphy or, like, Leonard Williams, like, destroy Rivers, and Rivers is lying there? No one wants to see. I hope people don't want to see that. But, I mean, look, I'm going to lay a scenario out here. Colts down by 6 at the end of the game with 2 minutes to play. Rivers has the ball, the chance to win it. Who doesn't want to see that happen?
Well, then I don't want to hear about the Seahawks being a real Super Bowl contender then, because if that happens, then I don't think that they are a true contender.
By the way, Atlanta kicked Seattle's butt in the first half of last week's game. I know that final score was 37-6, but they were getting to Darnold really hard. I don't think Seattle's totally predictable, Nick. Do you think?
Well, I think there's an application because I don't know if, like, this is the spot to fade Seattle. Yeah. That time is coming though.
Oh, you think that eventually that Seattle is going to come back to earth?
Well, I mean, how about this? How about it's going to happen I'll do my best Vince McMahon voice. It's going to happen in less than a week. Because next Thursday night, the Rams travel to Seattle. Seattle's probably going to be like a 1-point home favorite, and the Rams are going to beat them. So that's going to be the time to fade Seattle. Will be next week. And I'll just say this in terms of very quickly on Seattle in the playoffs. Like, we all watched the game last night. I think Seattle's probably going to be the 5, which means they will go on the road to the division champion in the NFC with the worst record, which is likely to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Carolina Panthers, right, in the NFC South. And I understand Tampa beat them, I get it. Tampa beat them earlier in the year. I don't think this is that Bucs team right now. I think we're probably going to see Sam Darnold on divisional weekend.
I would agree with that, but not past that. Nick Costos from You Better You Bet is with us for just a couple more minutes here. And Nick, you already mentioned the Rams, 6-point favorites against Detroit. Detroit's coming off that win, obviously, against Dallas. But going to the Rams, and the total's 54.5. How do you like this game? And then what's your favorite play of the week?
I think if you want to bet the Lions in this game, I think and I'm not saying the Lions can't cover, and I will just say I think Rams 5.5, and I kind of can't believe it just because the Lions are a really good team, right? Rams 5.5 has been like a pretty sharp bet.
Okay.
Like a bunch of people I respect, like everyone I've asked this week, no one has said, yeah, I like the Lions. No one has said that, and that doesn't mean the Lions aren't a good team, just that the Rams are power rated as by I think a pretty nice distance, the best team in the NFL right now. So I think if you like the Lions, you need to bet the over in the game because the Rams are going to score 30 points in this game. Think about how Detroit plays defense. They want to man up on you. Are any of Detroit's corners, no Brian Branch in the game, going to be able, and we'll see about Devontae Adams, right, who's been kind of like iffy at practice, didn't practice yesterday, so the practice report will matter today for the Rams, but assuming Adams and Puka Nacua both play, they're going to score like 30 points in this game. So if you like the Lions, I actually think you should parlay it with the over. I think I'll be on the sideline of this game, honestly. I want to bet Detroit, and I feel like they might be walking into the proverbial, no pun intended, the Lions' den in Los Angeles.
What's your favorite play of the week?
All right. So my favorite play of the week last week. Well, I'm gonna give you, I'll give you one. Although okay. I like a couple. My one favorite play would be, it's the same team I bet on last week, and it's not really that fun because it's a bad team. So I bet the Saints last week against the Bucs. They won the game outright at plus 8.5. I think they're gonna beat Carolina this week. Now the point spread's almost at 3. Carolina's almost a full 3-point road favorite. So my suggestion would be, if you agree with me, wait to see if you get a 3, bet New Orleans +3. I think the Saints are just going to win. Carolina has been this really, and I give them credit for this, they've been this really high variance team this year. And I think that they're really analytically driven. And I think they understand that they are not as talented as other teams. So in order to win these games, they have to do something, take huge swings. And sometimes, Maggie, it results in them beating, the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah. And sometimes they go to play or the Packers. Or sometimes they play your Buffalo Bills and lose 40-9.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens also. So I don't think Carolina is the type of team that you can, which doesn't mean they can't win or cover, but this is not like a team that you should feel good about laying 3 on the road against anybody. I don't think they fit that profile of team where they're consistent week to week. So I'll take 3 with New Orleans if and when it presents itself. I think the Saints will win the game outright on Sunday. And I actually think Tyler Shuck has played his way into probably being, and we'll see how the final couple games go, the week 1 starting quarterback for New Orleans next year.
Nick, is it cool to bring a blanket into a cold NFL game if you're a man?
Well, I would never even go to the game in the first place.
But I know you don't go. If you did go to a game and you see on TV a guy and he's got a blanket over his lap, that's okay, or is that like an old man move?
Yeah, no, call me like FDR. I'll sit there with the blanket on my lap.
Yeah. I'm getting some flack here in the studio about that because it's at this time of year. I mean, there's some cold games this weekend.
So I went to the Giants played the Packers on Sunday Night Football in 2012, and I went to the game with a bunch of my friends. And it was, I don't remember what the temperature was. I got loaded.
Oh, that helps. That helps.
I was also like 29, and it's freezing. So I remember before the game started, we were outside, tailgating. I remember being so cold, it had to be 8 degrees. I actually went and sat in the car and turned the car on and turned the heat on in the car. And I think the Giants won the game. I was miserable the entire game. I know you're probably referring to the Bears-Browns game, which is going to be -10 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
I actually think you'd have to pay me $10,000 to go sit outside.
Nick, what are you, Supermodel? You don't get out of bed for less than $20,000? The famous line.
I'm trying to describe to everyone how much I would not enjoy that experience.
Yeah.
How miserable it would be for me. There's right now in New York City, it's probably 28 degrees. It's 30 degrees. Humble brag. I woke up to go to the gym this morning. It was 25.
Wow.
I can deal with 25. 25, you can be outside and it's not pleasurable when you're outside for a long time in 25, but you can deal with it, right? If you're bundled up. When you start talking 5 degrees, 0, negative, this ceases to become an experience that's pleasurable for me in any way, shape, or form. So, if I went to the game, I'd be wearing 15 layers. I'd have 6 blankets. I'd have a cardboard in between me and the floor and the concrete floor, so my feet wouldn't have to hit it. I would be I'd look like the Marshmallow Man. I'd be so bundled up. But I wouldn't go to the game in the first place. But if I did, of course. When did this become a test of manhood? To go, the guy at the Dolphins Chiefs Peacock game on Wild Card Weekend had to get a finger amputated.
Yeah.
This is not some test of manhood that you think it is. It's stupid.
You want to be like the lineman and take your no sleeves. That's a thing in the NFL. You want to be like the players.
You know what? I don't.
Shador, by the way, I think he's going to end up being more like you. I don't think he's going to enjoy this game very much.
Who wants that? I actually was thinking, do you have a minute or no?
Yeah.
We have a minute.
Okay. So I was actually thinking about this, right? If I were a quarterback, right? And let's say the Bears wanted to draft me.
Yeah.
Which means in September and October, it's okay. But you're going to play, and I guess no matter where you go, you're going to end up playing some cold weather games. I might say I don't want to go play.
You can't say that. The Green Bay Packers draft you, and you're just no, I'm not going to play for an iconic franchise because I'm too cold.
Yeah, because I'm too cold.
If you were Lane Kiffin, you wouldn't even talk to Penn State. You're saying?
Well, I think that's coach. You can bundle up significantly.
And it's college. They're off the field in December.
But there's a huge difference between. Look, I'm in New York's cold. New York is not Wisconsin.
Yeah.
New York is not Chicago. It's not the Midwest. It just isn't. It isn't.
It's not Buffalo.
It's not Buffalo.
It's a different.
And it can be cold here, but it's not like that. Go to Buffalo. I think I'd say like, no, it's like send me to Los Angeles.
I actually wonder how many guys say that in the draft because I do think about this when the Bills, my favorite team, is drafting guys. And it's like, he's from Alabama, and then he played at Alabama, and it's Marcel Darius, and he's never played in weather under 40 or something like that. I was worried about James Cook down in Georgia, but he's fine.
So that's like Minnesota, though. Like, you have a dome. Like, that's awesome. Like, Buffalo's going to have a dome. That's great.
Well, it's not even like a true dome, though.
I just like the idea of like you get drafted to like Green Bay, and you're playing and I guess you could embrace it, and I guess that's what you have to like. If that were me, like I don't want to be a loser. Like, I'd go and do it, and I'd probably like find a way to bend it to my will and be good at it. But I wouldn't want it.
Well, think about it though. One of the all-time against types, I think it was Brett Favre being that good of a cold weather quarterback. He was excellent. He's from Hattiesburg.
Hey, Rodgers is from Fresno, and Jordan Love is from California, too. None of those guys. I mean, I think if you went from Favre to Rodgers to Love to Costos, that is you're going to say no to that, Nick?
Yes, yeah. Well, it's like you turn the TV on and like you see like the breath is shooting out like fire-breathing dragons.
Like Ice Bowl? Yeah.
I just, and like... No, I mean, how would you
You're
go to
cold
the Bears
thinking
Browns
about
game?
it. You're cold thinking about it. No, because I as a fan, I don't think so.
How much money?
Oh, if you're gonna pay me?
Yeah, how much money?
If you're gonna pay me, I'll do it for $500.
Nick, I went to the Black Friday.
Not even close.
Black Friday Eagles Bears. It was about 35. I was dying.
Okay.
Dying.
Okay.
But you understand the wind made it.
35 is above freezing.
Yeah, it was an awful experience.
Yes, it sucks.
See,
like, who wants that?
I'm a woman, so I'm always making a little less than you guys. Just kidding. Nick, thank you. Little joke there. Thank you for doing this. We will talk to you next week. Have fun watching everything from your couch, where I'm assuming it's a nice 70, 71 degrees.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You have to go, right? Now that this is how I know I'm getting older. When I used to put the thermostat at like 65, and now it's like always at like 71. Like I'm like easing into my 40s here. Wishing everybody minimal sweats, winning bets, the absolute very best of luck.
We love Nick Costos.
Thanks,
he is on with us every Friday at this time, and of course you got to watch You Better You Bet and listen to it. All right, Maggie Perloff show. Now, we'll take a quick break. Back in a moment.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
And in the snow, dancing through the snow, where were the hash marks? Curtis Martin was the hero as the Jets kicked 2 field goals, 9 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. For Curtis, my favorite, Martin.
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
It's definitely going to be a good day when you get to hear Chris Berman say, my favorite Martin.
Oh, no, the NFL primetime music is so funny that you brought that up because we're talking about the Curtis Martin and famous snow games. The weather's supposed to be atrocious in multiple places this weekend.
2 field goals.
So enjoy the weather game, hopefully from the comforts of your own home. But there was two different music beds that they used at NFL primetime.
Oh, I think there were more, but
there's two famous ones.
Yeah.
There was like the one that would always start the highlights, and then either did they ever switch mid highlight or was it another game?
Yeah, each game had its own own bed.
So it was like, all right, you start with like AFC East games or NFC East games, and then when we go out to the AFC West, and then it was like a different. And I thought the secondary music was actually better than the primary.
They're all outstanding. I think they were years ago. I don't know if they still are. You can get them on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure.
I rolled them in and used them on my college sports talk show back in the day. That's how much I worship.
Boom goes the dynamite?
No, the primetime bets. Like when I would, because you're talking to yourself. There's no callers, So I would do like a highlight segment when I was interning it locally here at WFAN down the hallway. And I was like, this is great. I have access to all these highlights. I do like an around the NFL segment and put all the play-by-play highlights over top of the primetime music because I just loved it so
And you weren't
much.
going to get like a copyright infringement.
Yeah, nobody was listening.
I know. I did that when I worked for NBA TV when I first got out of college, and I still want to be a broadcaster. So I took like all these famous highlights from the NBA library and like on my own time, just like did myself doing highlights over like Michael Jordan dunks. And
Absolutely.
Stuff. It was great.
Funny Berman nicknames. I usually think of them more baseball. Like, do you guys think of that? Like, he doesn't like I always think
more football.
I think
because of NFL primetime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he really did like go to be young and then McDowell for a long time. He was doing SportsCenter and base. Maybe because I'm older, I think he originally started this mostly for baseball.
I believe, I get that.
And like
I grew up on prime time, so
but now he doesn't do nicknames anymore really during that 3-minute thing at halftime.
I think he does.
Does he
Maybe
really?
Not as prominently because it's
But
you know,
he still doesn't.
It's quick.
He was the first time I ever heard Indiana Jones for Daniel Jones.
Was it
when
really?
Berman did
Okay,
it.
there you go. That's a good one.
It's
Actually, somebody else came up with that on Twitter, though. I do remember that.
I mean, now everything's everything. But
that's a problem, yeah.
That's the only halftime show that I even watch is Monday Night Football for Berman.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do fastest 3 minutes. Sometimes they take him down to like 2 minutes or 1 minute. I'm like, why are you squeezing this guy? He's our
Jameson
favorite.
Clam Crowder. The Cuba Missile Crisis.
Legend.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I guess he still does them. I mean, they fly that in at halftime, and it comes and goes.
He's the first one I think who came up with the law firm of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Yes.
That was.
There's a lot of good ones over
Curtis,
there.
my favorite Martin.
Meanwhile, CeeLo's got the latest update for us.
All right, well, if you're just, I guess, on the West Coast waking up and you missed the aftermath of last night's Bucks-Falcons game, Atlanta racing a 14-point fourth-quarter deficit. They come back to beat the Bucks 29-28 on a Zane Gonzalez field goal as time expired. So with their comeback and triumph, of course, the other side is Tampa Bay's meltdown, which officially broke the normally stoic Todd Bowles.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You gotta care enough where the hurts. You gotta care enough where the hurts. It gotta mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that shit. It was in the excusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
Wow. You know what's funny to me? Like the idea that someone brought their kid to work or something, and all of a sudden he turns around as like a 10-year-old who was watching the press conference, like just with their jaw on the floor.
And someone probably said, "Hey, you sure you want to bring your kid around?" I was like, "Oh, it's Todd Bowles. What is he going to say?"
He's so mild-mannered.
The amount of beeps there reminds me of the scene in Happy Gilmore when he goes into the PGA commissioner's office and there's him, bleeped out on TV over the, piece of monkey bleep. And it just, everything is beep, beep, beep. As the commissioner's telling him he's suspended. I mean, that is quite a 28 seconds right there. And it's pretty much all you need to know about last night's game.
No, what hit me the hardest was the first one. I was just listening. The first one is like, whoa, where did that one come from? I thought it was going to be a normal press conference.
Great, because he didn't pound the podium. He's not yelling and screaming. It's still that measured tone.
Yeah. And he always looks the same.
Yeah. Stone face.
He must have been terrifying to play against back in the day because he seems like, he just seems like he's looming back there, and he was a safety, right? He's probably going to hit you so hard you're not even going to remember it.
Yeah, we got to see another side of him, at least publicly last night. That's back-to-back divisional losses for his team. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 overall after opening the season 6-2, so they're now 7-7. Did you guys do anything? I might have missed it on the Bijan Robinson, what he had to say on the...
It's funny you say this. So I did not watch the postgame.
I didn't either. I just saw the clip.
Because obviously every minute at that point when we wake up as early as we do is of the essence. So I don't generally watch any. I'm just seeing the article now that's popped up. He said this on Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did.
What in the world could he be thinking here?
We want to get into the context? I have the clip. It's not bleeped. I don't know how you want to proceed with that. We can just kind of talk around it if you want.
I don't think it needs to be.
I agree. I didn't know how you guys felt.
I don't think it needs to be bleeped, but it's definitely can be offensive to people.
Wes was why he quickly apologized.
Oh, he did apologize.
On
okay.
X, within, I want to say, less than an hour after the somewhere in that. So I'll set it up for you. So he's on the Prime post game on the set there. I think Cousins was there. I believe Kyle Pitts was there as well. He obviously had a big game. Robinson, 175 yards of offense. So Richard Sherman, at one point in the discussion, is kind of praising his all-around game, and then he referenced a particular play where he, made some guys miss, essentially. The quality's not great because the clips out there, people recorded on their phones off TV, but this was the exchange here.
Bijan, they threw it to you in the backfield. You made the first one miss, dead leg 3 people. I said, oh, this boy grew up in the backyard.
Hey, spirit of queer. That's what we do.
Okay, so you hear what he says, and he's referencing. I remember the name from my childhood, if I'm being honest, and I'm obviously older than he is. So they kind of quickly transitioned away from that, and they were like, "Oh, kill the carrier," a different word for the game that was played.
Oh, that's rough.
But it went viral, and then soon after he did that, plus a number of other interviews that he did, he went on X and, "Hey, everyone, I want to apologize for the insensitive comment I made in the broadcast. It was a football game we used to play as a kid, but that's not an excuse. I recognize the mistake and make sure to do better in the future. It was not reflective of my beliefs, and I'm so sorry to those I offended seriously."
Yeah, I mean, listen, now it's just going to be like everyone says he's the best guy, right?
Yeah.
So is this just the first thing? Then you're not going to be able to believe the apology. If this is the only thing that ever happens, maybe you can believe that he just had a moment where he didn't realize what he was saying. I don't know.
All the other interviews, it was, giving thanks to God, and
of
Jesus.
course.
He went on with SVP and all that. So, yeah, I think that was just one of those off-color things that in your private life, in your youth, you don't think much of, but in today's day and age, obviously, you don't want to be saying that on the air.
No.
Yeah, I never also heard that game.
Me neither.
Once I learned what the game was, I think, I've played versions of that. I never heard it called that, but I don't know.
We called it kill the cow.
Yeah.
That's a common
It was
name,
always
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me. I mean, I remember it. I'm going to be 40 next month. He's obviously significantly younger than me, so kind of interesting that it's a bit of a throwback, I would say.
Definitely.
At this point, and for a guy who's obviously in his 20s and in the prime of his NFL playing career, it's kind of interesting. But I don't know enough about his background to say. But that was something that did come out of last night's game.
Yeah.
I have a couple more. Oh no, we're almost out of time. Do you want more Jamar Chase, or I've got Rich Eisen, which was heard on Infinity Sports Network, talking about the Sharon Moore situation at Michigan?
Yeah, let's hear Rich Eisen on Sharon Moore.
All right, because
Sharon Moore, pardon me.
He's obviously a Michigan alum.
Yeah.
And again, this was part of his Rich Eisen show yesterday, and he's kind of relaying curious timing looking back a few weeks now.
I will just say this, and this may have something to do with the football aspect of it as well. It took no less than 90 minutes after Ohio State thumped the University of Michigan in the Big House just a couple of Saturdays ago. It took no fewer than 90 minutes for me to hear the rumor about this.
Which obviously came out publicly now this week and led to his firing and his
the
arrest
affair.
and all that.
Yeah.
And Eisen here says it wasn't just a one-off either.
No fewer than 4 times from 4 different people. Calling me up, texting me, did you hear this? Did you know that? What do you know about this? And the rumor, so nasty. I didn't want to share the details with anybody.
Which obviously now has come out. Schefter was taking some heat yesterday for, I'm not going to say defending him, but saying we have to wait and hear from Moore and what he has to say, his side of the story.
I think what is interesting about this, right, is everyone, it doesn't seem like people would be that surprised, Pearl, if Michigan was setting him up. Right? If Michigan wanted to get out of him being the coach and doesn't want to pay him, that they would go to these lengths. Now, you can't imagine the guy's going to, talk about a spectacular backfire, that if they're firing him for cause because he's having an affair with a staffer, yet they don't know that he's going to drive to her home, get a knife, and potentially that could have ended in such a horrific, tragic way. Thankfully, it did not. But that would have been such a huge backfire on Michigan trying to get cute or get shady about, using this situation, taking advantage of it to get out of paying him an exit fee or whatever. The fact of the matter is, if you want to fire him, you could have done this way quieter.
I read it more as if he could have beaten Ohio State, then they continue to sweep it under the rug.
I think there's a lot of people who believe that's true also.
But honestly, they were not going to beat Ohio State. So this team wasn't that good either.
Yeah. Can I tell you what I think is going to matter here? If it was true and everyone in Michigan was on the same page that they wanted to, after that game, wanted to get this story out so they could fire him with cause so they don't have to pay him, then I bet Ward Manuel stays. If Ward Manuel goes, the athletic director, then I think that not everyone was on board with this plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Not to allege some major conspiracies here, but that's kind of what Rich is saying.
I would lean more towards chaos. Not everybody. I don't know. I'm not sure that Michigan has shown that it has a real plan here.
No, but do you think that they leaked this story, or that they that Michigan manipulated the story just to get out of paying Sharon Moore?
I like to go for the simplest, that I believe. I would I be shocked if it happened? No, but I would believe maybe that didn't happen. I feel like this was just an out of control situation,
and that the woman all of a sudden brought the receipts and basically the evidence of an affair on Wednesday for some other reason. Maybe she found out that he was having a relationship with someone else. Maybe he was telling her, "I'm going to leave my wife for you," and never did. A million things. We
don't even really want to opine on that because more information will probably come out. And I mean, it's all bad. I think, by the way, Rich. Maybe I did say something even before the firing that he's hearing weird stuff out of Michigan. So he's not saying that totally post fact. Yeah. He did definitely know. So it was in the air. We didn't know about it, but everyone around
People
Michigan
connected
did.
to Michigan. Yeah. Well, it's obviously messy, and I know you guys referenced he's expected to appear in court for an arraignment today, but we still don't have details from the authorities or charges or filings or anything like that. So that all remains to be seen.
Crazy situation. CeeLo, thank you. Fantastic job all morning long. Coming up next, we will get to, never a dull moment with our next subject. Man, he's a quote machine. Do it next, M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Okay, we asked you earlier in the show, got some good responses here, Pearl, of fill in the blank. The best ending to a comedy, a movie, obviously. The best ending to a comedy is what? So we're talking about comedies. It's kind of hard sometimes to land the plane in a comedy, to get to the end. I said Dumb and Dumber. The town is back that way, which is one of my favorite endings, but I forgot another all-time ending.
Okay.
The end of The Hangover was inspired.
Oh,
remember?
The pictures?
They look at the pictures, then they throw away the camera. We got a couple more on X. The musical scene at the end of the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And the outtakes at the end of Ricky Bobby and Anchorman. The Anchorman bloopers at the end, at the very end, when they're rolling the credits.
The Rush Hour 2 outtakes are also legendary.
Oh, they do outtakes?
Damn.
Oh, God.
He ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3. You know what I mean? That should have been the end of the movie, by the way. They should have just put that in there.
At the end of 22 Jump Street, the sequel, they proceed to do teasers for 25 more Jump Street sequels. And they're amazing. They go undercover as dentists, and it's great.
Kurt also put on here Ferris Bueller, where he goes, "You're still here?" When he, because he's talking to the camera the whole time, and he does that at the end of the credits. Anyway, let's get to Cam Newton, who, Pearl, is in his feelings because he's watching Phillip Rivers. And Ray, can I hear cut 11, please? Cam Newton saying a Phillip Rivers return is a slap in the face to Cam.
That's great. For 44 years old, coming out of retirement. It's almost like a slap in my face, bro. It's like, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, more from Cam. His producer asks if his media career now has cost him a job and an opportunity with the Colts.
With your career and all the things that you're doing in media, do you come off like you're available? Well, state the case then, brother.
Did Phillip Rivers send any type of signs that he was available? Why you asking me to do something that everybody else didn't do? I ain't no sucker. I ain't no lab rat. Come on, bro.
Is there more? Wow. Fair from Cam. Did Phillip Rivers really give any indications that he was,
Phil Rivers coaching high school football was an indication that he wanted to play in an NFL game this Sunday?
We only found out that he was running Shane Steichen's system.
Well, I was about to say, I actually probably could make an argument that Phillip Rivers is better for Sunday's game than Cam Newton because Phillip knows the offense so well. So that's something. I mean, it's probably
5 years.
Why he's out there. I mean, yeah, but the fact that it's hard to get somebody who actually knows the offense, the details, because every quarterback they have is injured, and you're not going to, you can't bring back. There were no old quarterbacks to bring back. Matt Ryan, I guess, doesn't want to get out there.
No, Ryan Tannehill. Remember Tannehill? Mm-hmm. He would have been the answer. Apparently, Sam Ehlinger.
He's on a practice squad.
I don't know why I just said it that way.
Yeah.
Said no, thank you.
I always say. Wait, so I forget what's the quarterback? What's Tannehill's connection to Steichen?
Nothing. I'm just saying he's an older quarterback.
No, I know, but knowing the offense, I'm saying you need a guy who knows the plays.
Do you?
Yes, you absolutely do.
I don't know.
That's a huge advantage.
But we can talk about Baker Mayfield learning the playbook on a plane to L.A. and then going out there and winning a game.
Joe Flacco learns a new playbook every week.
To be fair to the Colts, Cam Newton's shoulder was falling off the bone at the end of his career. That might play a role. Tendonism in the shoulder is not a good thing if you want to play quarterback in the NFL.
Ray, to be fair, it's had plenty of time to heal.
By the way, Cam Newton was, I know the stats weren't good and the results, he was not that bad at the end. Like, when he came out after COVID, like his first season, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not working perfectly.
What, with the Panthers?
When
he was back with the Panthers?
Well, the first couple games with the Patriots, I believe. I felt like, physically, I'm talking about, like, RG3 as a backup. When he was Lamar's backup, I'm like, he would get in there once in a while. I'm like, he looks like RG3. Why is this man not a quarterback anymore? Why did these guys retire? Why did Cam retire? Nobody wanted him?
Yeah, nobody was offering him a job.
These guys, the reason is because I guess they don't think they're backup material because they're just too spectacular at their height.
But I actually don't think that's exactly what Cam did. Cam was saying that people weren't looking at him as a backup because former number 1 pick and MVP and Heisman Trophy and all that stuff. No, but I think he said he would have been willing to be a backup.
Right, but I think teams...
Send any type of signs that he was available.
Nobody wants Cam Newton. You bring your wimpy quarterback out and then 6'6" Cam Newton with a rifle running a 4-6. Yeah, he was too good to be a backup. But it was kind of, I think the mid-30s for that. I never understood why he wasn't still playing. But I guess, and he wanted to. It makes it clear.
Definitely.
By the way, it's not too late. Philip Rivers just came back, for God's sake.
Don't give up hope, Cam. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope. He should get a uniform back on and play in Week 16.
He's got a budding podcast empire to preside over.
He should wear a uniform on First Take to sell it.
Do a highlight tape, go down to the high school.
Can you fit that hat under the helmet, though? That's the question I have.
I mean...
He should come out with a line of helmets that look like the hats.
My first thought was? Tom Brady. Looks great. If Philip Rivers throws a touchdown in 44, we're going to hear whispers of Tom Brady coming back.
Good grief. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Ray Jarvis. Thank you to Chris Lopresti, Andrew Kaplan, Weedos and Coffee Drinkers. Have a nice weekend.